Hey everybody! I hope that everything is good because we were playing and messing around with the camera angles and stuff, and hopefully the microphones work. If they do not, please let us know in chats. But it is Friday.
You can breathe when you talk.
I forgot to breathe a little bit ago, and now it's like I'm learning how to do this again. The breathing thing. Hey guys, it's Friday, and that's Sacred World. So welcome to Divide and Conquer Sacred World. This is a 5e game based on the Pathfinder Inner Seas, using the Greyhawk Pantheon, a little bit of Tal'Dorei, a little bit of Innistrad, Ravnica to tie everything into the magic.
Oh no, there was a spoiler.
What? A spoiler?
There was a spoiler announcement. The flag wasn't on.
Oh no, they got to see something ahead of time. But, well, I guess let's talk about that. So, there was a Kickstarter that I'd really like to shout out, the Humblewood campaign setting, which is, here's a little dice pack that I had. But, it's really cool. Jeremiah, you're gonna have to, like, open that box up and, like, show these bitches everything. If you're into, I don't know how to describe an avian campaign setting, and you like a lot of bird races, this is a really amazing campaign setting. So, like, I supported them at the beginning, and they have an amazingly cool. I think that's the DM screen. Yeah, it's a really detailed DM screen. It is 5th edition. So like you'll still know the rules. You're the best model ever, Jeremiah. I absolutely love how you're doing this.
I'm excited for the spell cards.
Yeah, I think you just screwed the spell. The Kickstarter that I supported was like a $200 bundle, but it comes with the fucking campaign setting. It comes with like 40 minis. It comes with these awesome die sets. It comes with coins. It came with these cool spell cards that are, as soon as Jeremiah pulls them out, I hope the camera can see. Oh. The other spell cards, Jeremiah. Let's see if the camera can. Yeah, like they have these old school little graphic effects. They're really dope. Yeah, and
dude, that's sick. Oh, I love them.
Yeah, and they're brand new spells that are in this campaign. And again, you can be like Vulpin, fox dudes, or little tiny owls, or little baby hedgehog, little rat folk creatures. There's I saw, yeah, rat folks are awesome.
Dude, I love rats.
I saw a image of like a druidic chicken and like a druid cow. Dude, I love babies, so this was awesome. And they sent this really cute little thank you card. But yeah, I think you could also get some of their player cards on deckofmany.com, but I'm not sure. I just opened the box like this morning, so a lot of the information. Yeah.
The owl isn't there? The owl is there.
Oh.
The owl is not there?
Oh my god. But yeah, they came with like maps and a whole bunch of different things. So it's really dope. Just really wanted to give them a shout out because Kickstarters are awesome. You should always support local artists doing local things, even though they're not local here. But it's just really dope, and I'm going to exclusively just use their dice for today. These amazing, nice little dice.
Ooh.
It's a map.
Yeah, it's I think a map of their home, like the village where you start out in the campaign setting. It's really cool. They came with like 4 or 5 maps, and each one were double-sided, so a total like 10 maps. But yeah, just Humblewood. Just wanted to give out a little shout out to an awesome campaign setting that still to be determined when we will crack that book open and make some characters. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Also, I'd like to thank our friends firstly at Talon and Claw, which make these amazing DM screens and these. Making sure there's no spoilers as I move it. These awesome dice trays. They also have these dual hexadecimal. Yeah, look! Oh my god, all that shiny is pretty good, my dude. They also have a single Council of 7 as like a single dice bolt. And if you use the code Divine Conquer, you get 10% off, which is cool. And then, hey Vic.
Hey, what?
What can they do?
Do what now?
I was about to talk into the microphone like you could hear me better that way, because that's how that works.
Better when I do that?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Put your ear right into the computer and the Alistair comic.
The Alistair comic?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so there's this cool thing that I'm writing for, and we have the wonderful, amazing, and super talented artist Lynn, who is lurking in chat right now. I see you, Lynn. I know what you're doing. We
yeah.
are currently collaborating on a webcomic that we're putting together called Alistair. It is about the most righteous paladin, Alistair, as aptly named, and he is going on adventures with a boy that I think we're all familiar with from this campaign. He's a barbarian.
He's
His
the
name's
smartest
West.
Oh,
He's in the
Cowabunga?
shower.
He's the smartest boy.
He's a very smart boy.
He's a very smart boy.
Yeah.
Lynn's drawing some panels right now, as noted in chat.
Nice.
Wow. Awesome.
So, and
Multitasking.
you would get access to seeing early panels, early art, and like little fun little tidbits before everyone else if you register or subscribe to our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And if you subscribe to the Paladin tier, which is I believe is our highest tier on there, you get 20% off on art commissions.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
it's super cool.
legitimate.
So there's like a lot of fun features. I recommend coming to check it out. Subscribe to the Patreon because then you get access to the Discord where you could hang out with me and Lyndon. We can just talk about all kinds of cool stuff, like the live stream that we'll be doing tomorrow.
Yes,
that?
please talk about that.
When is
Because
that
going
if
to
I
be?
understood correctly, that live stream will not air on YouTube. So if you want to watch it, you have to watch it on the Saturdays
I don't
that
know.
day.
I'm feeling kind of random. It might show up on YouTube.
It might get recorded. It might not
Wow.
get recorded. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see what happens, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, Debbie Plains and Doodles. It's going to be airing at 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Lynn time. So we basically just hang out on Dropfile. We basically talk about character designs. This episode is about what is it class-wise that affects how a character looks. Like say a paladin looking a very specific way because they're a paladin, so they have to wear armor and yada yada yada. A lot of fun stuff like that, and we also like to take chat suggestions and draw characters live for everybody, so you should definitely be there for that tomorrow night, because
Yes.
I will know if you're not.
What are you, Santa?
Yes.
Oh god.
Uh,
I'm afraid.
Watching
I'm afraid.
always.
yeah. Okay. I answered my own question in the Discord that I needed to for the Alistair comment.
Oh, thank you for finally answering that.
I was
buddy.
at work all day, and then at second work, and then I took a nap. And now I'm here. I only sleep at this table. I sleep underneath when no one's watching. I don't have a home. I'm a poor boy. My money goes to these cameras. So, all right, let's introduce ourselves. We'll note that we will not have a Coleton, a Dickie, or a Ronny today for all different issues. Summed up by life. Just so you guys know, their characters, they will not show up today unless they decide to randomly and don't tell us, which is, I guess, that's happened before. But yeah, so let's start at the Aether. Who do we have over there, please?
Whoa, hey, I'm Vic, and I play, I almost said Alistair. I play Wes.
What?
Wow, spoiler
What?
alert!
I
Spoiler.
forgot to tell you,
Wow.
I played a new character today.
Oh, thank you for letting me know.
I mean, we have everything prepared and everything, so it's fine. I'm Vic. I play Wes, the human barbarian warlock.
You're reading the wrong script, Vic.
Whoops. Hey guys, I'm Tabatha. I will be playing Oria, the Loxodon Druid.
Right, and I'm Kelsey.
Oh, I
I'm
forgot to
playing
do this.
Laz,
That's
the
Wes.
Genasi bard.
That's Oria.
That's Oria.
Here's the last.
Here's the last, which we have new art for
Yeah,
last.
yeah.
Will come next week. We'll have it. Okay.
And my name
Next week,
is
she's gonna have some really nice art.
Yeah.
my name is Jeremiah, and I play Rognarv, the Full Metal Artificer.
Nice.
And right beside him, always. I guess let's just use
Brom.
this. This is Brom.
Marvel's Disney's gonna sue us. Just put a giant disclaimer on there.
Here's
Censored.
Brom.
And with
I am
that,
Rom.
and enough time being spent on humbling our Humblewood, let's just. I just thought about what I just said.
Yeah.
Let's roll that intro, please. Are we live? I think we're live. So, to recap a very troubled game last time.
Oh yeah.
I guess.
It happens.
It happens,
y'all.
The party are Elysian Vagabonds and our Bag of Beans. We're traveling to the Mindspire Mountains. After they relieved Fangwood of the Feywild leaking through, and a dragon from the Shadow fell, who was trying to corrupt as many people and possess them through its Fey ancestry abilities. After they released that, the possessed and left their children in the Fangwood Forest as the best place that they can to have them a safe haven as they travel. They were going to go to Krovasa to get some information and try to see what we can do with that. On their way, stopping by a odd gnoll ritualistic and finding out that these gnolls were hunting some men and traveling in the same direction as you guys were to the mountains to resupply. Also learning, coincidentally, that there was a bounty on this beast called Draka the Black. Putting that there were several parties trying to get the hoard, which was 3,200 gold and then a hoard of gems brought by the Duke of the Mountains. You guys decided to take on this mission as you needed the money for material components to finish the gate spell and hopefully have the answer that you guys need to send Oria and her people back to Ravnica. On the travel, you guys befriended an elven team. You guys learned about this Lady of Silk or Lady of Strings, depending on who you ask. She has different names. Who also lives in these marshy swamps. Traveling throughout the days, you guys heard for 4 days constant night and day battle between this beast and the adventurers that would go before you. And as you approach closer and closer, you're noticing that the beast was always winning. As you guys finally did make it on the 4th day through a shortcut given you to by the Duke, you found that the beast was a colossal black dragon. Noting later on that the dragon had children in the caves, and that conflicted with, should we defeat this beast or not? But the only way that the beast wanted peace was if you guys were to bring back the heads of the Dwarven Duke's children. Which was a unreasonable request at the time, not realizing that its children also died in the process. Noting before the conflict started the night before that there was 2 other great worms that have left the earth. One was Zardar the Lightning, and the other one was Zerdar the Flame, which should be a familiar name. With a conflict with some storm lords wanting to kill the dragon for the good old fun of the sport of hunting, and then paladins who wanted to kill the dragon for good old Heronius. Your hand was dealt, some actions took place, and fortunately or unfortunately, it led to you guys facing the dragon. Upon its several 4-day injury, it didn't take terribly long for all close to 15 of you to overtake the dragon and finally end its life, discovering that it had 8 children in the cave that were also been slaughtered by the previous adventuring groups that came before it. With further investigation noting that its hoard was almost completely taken except for about 100 coins left behind, which some of the party members took. With that, Mumrock came back after a day of disappearing, saw the dead dragon, and with a heavy heart said that he could no longer be part of the Bag of Beans or follow the Elysian Vagabonds, as they thought they were heroes, and this does not look heroic to him. So, with that heavy blow, we are going to continue back into the swamps and find the correct audio track because I put way too many here.
Yeah, we don't do happiness here.
Are you expecting a Disney-filled, joyful campaign? Because that's not how Jesus rolls.
Yeah.
So, Elysian Vagabonds and our bag of beans. With Mumrock heading ahead on his donkey, packed fully.
No. Just take him out.
What do we do? As Ariell previously has stated that he wants to go deliver the evidence of the dragon's death so you guys can get paid.
Yeah.
I like getting paid.
I don't give a shit, but we might as well.
Well, I guess we need to hurry up before those bastards gets there first.
Oh, before that, does anybody have any parchment and like pen or graphite or whatever?
West is asking for parchment and pen.
You can
Yeah.
write?
Ariel's the one who has those.
Ariell would have them, and he would hand them out. No one else does, as he just reaches into his small little bag of holding.
I have feathers. Does that work?
Ariell kind of smiles towards you, Rognarv, and then here you go, West, and just hands you a tiny, really neatly lit scroll and a beautiful quill and ink.
Cool. I'm gonna completely bastardize the hell out of that parchment by writing on it.
Okay. What do you write on it?
I'm just going to write a note saying, just West did this, and then I'm gonna slap it down on like the nearest body.
So the nearest body would probably be one of the Goliaths that was just recently killed.
Yeah, I'll just kind of
As
like.
Wes, you still have the head of the young lord of the Goliath. What did you do with that?
Yeah. I think we just dropped it.
Okay, then there's that. Then that solves that. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
All right. So it is a
Maybe
4-day.
Maybe stick it to the head of that lord.
Nah, this is fine right here.
Here, use
I
one
mean,
by box.
For
I think my point's being made.
for the sake of this, Wes, can you please roll me an intelligence check?
Oh no.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh boy. Okay.
Cal taught you how to read
Look,
up to D,
I'm just
A, B,
saying.
C, D.
I mean,
That's how legible this letter is.
12.
I mean, you can read it. It's some of the letters are extra thick. You mess up on one of the E's and kind of had to like redo it again. But yeah, it's legible.
That's why I use basic words. That's all I know.
Yeah. It's definitely understandable. It looked like someone who doesn't know how to hold a pen might have wrote it, or someone, or a giant was holding a small little quill, or
Yes.
maybe a child. Who knows? But at least it's legible, and nothing is misspelled, as according to West.
Success.
So there is a note pinned on one of the Goliath's bodies.
Yes.
Ariell kind of shakes his head, gets on his donkey. You see that Orcdeath is already on his donkey, and he kind of takes out a flask and starts drinking from that flask. A little too longly. He kind of like... he kind of puts himself slightly behind Ariell, as Ariell is not leaving just yet, but he's pretty close to it. You see Eris in her coyote familiar following behind, and she has this look on her face as though I'm not gonna say anything. Mommy and Daddy are mad. And she kind of just sways back and forth. And this kind of every now and then kind of like looks at you guys and then turns back and starts swaying again. So, what do you four do?
I don't have a donkey. I use.
Oh yeah, you technically have Brom.
Basically,
Yeah, bro.
we're just kind
You want to
of
ride on Spud? I have Spud.
started to. Was like, you're trying to insult Bram.
Oh no.
No, I was just saying, if you wanted to ride on a donkey, you could.
And then I will actually whisper at you, like I'll try to pull one of your trench coat to get you closer to me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not in an aggressive way though, because I was like, don't talk too loud. Bram is jealous.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, I got you.
and then you'll stand up. I'm not trying to be sneaky about this at all. It's like, no, I only ride Bram. Don't insult Bram like that.
I would never want to insult Brom. Brom is very magnificent and shiny.
Yes.
Never look at Brom.
Very shiny.
The elven girl picks up her coyote and like looking at both of you like she's about to do something bad, but nobody's stopping her, and then she puts her coyote on top of the donkey.
As long as it's not on top of Bram.
On Wes's donkey.
I will allow this.
As long as it's not on top of Bram.
No. And she just kind of puts her there. It's okay. And then looks at both of you and kind of just steps back and pets the donkey. But
basically just looking at her, I was like, are you trying to be sneaky about this?
I
no.
give her a
And then
thumbs up of approval.
Oh wait, is the coyote okay?
The coyote's fine.
Okay.
I feel like my dog would do the same.
I will.
Because the coyote was healed by Ariel's lay on hands.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's true.
Sorry, Les?
No, I was just saying I think my dog would do the same thing, like at home. Like my
Oh.
dog's chill with anything. I could probably like put on a horse and be like, oh.
I don't
Yeah.
have a piece of meat.
It's alright. And you see that Iris is like petting the donkey, but she's petting it behind, like right where the legs could kick her. Anyone who has like any amount of animal handling or any points in wisdom, like that's not where you need to be. But she's just like,
you might want to like kind of scoot over away.
Oh, okay.
I don't have
Yeah,
She just
yeah.
scoots more forward, and then she's like, oh, the legs.
My nature is okay. I don't have
This Aries girl cracks me
I'm gonna
up.
go basically kind of prep Brom, even though Brom is already prepped.
Sure, of course. Making sure everything's tight and nice. Okay. So,
Mount her and
unless there's anything that you guys want to go, it is a 4-day trip to the.
West thing.
With Wes would have to do. With Wes, I think we'll take it on to. Because Mumrock was leading, and now Wes can lead. If Wes leads, it was shortened by, I would say, a day or so. Because you are taking a shortcut to begin with. And shortcutting the shortcut is a little harder. So if you are leading with your Tome of the Deer and not being completely frozen in the Aether, it will take. There we go. Connection is 4. Love it.
Reconnecting.
Love it. So yeah, it could take you guys 3 days to get there if Wes is leading.
Actually, I'll be in front of, not in front of West, but in front with West.
Okay, for sure. Assuming that they're okay with it, Wes would be leading, Brum, and Rog.
No, knowing West, you'll probably be fine leading.
Last, is there any place that you want to be?
No, just behind Oria.
Okay. As we'll say that Eris will tag along behind you because you two have the most chill together.
Yeah.
And then
We're big chill.
Orcdeath is oddly quiet in the back. So as the first day of travel goes by,
Lost connection.
It
yeah.
just says reconnecting. Now the call's ended.
Okay. Either you guys want to call or call them. Thank you so much. There we go. Look, that's that guy, that weird guy.
We're gonna have like 3
There's 2 of them now.
What? No. Okay. As the beeping of the mountains
Like, oh no,
starts to
Bram is running out of battery.
Sure, in the call.
Like, Bram is running out of battery. Let me change
Bram,
it. Let me change
Bram,
it.
no, not Bram. Okay, there we go. They're calling.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, on the second day of traveling back, let's
I
just
think
let
it
them.
answered already.
Yeah, technically it has answered the call. But hopefully it can hear me. And this is making sense to them. On the second day of travel, towards the morning after you guys start waking, you do see up ahead over you a giant eagle fly.
Okay.
Yay.
All right, we are back. So, there's a giant eagle flying towards you guys
Okay.
on the second day of traveling. I mean, you can if you want. And it seems to be slowing down in pace and dropping close to Oria, and there's a letter in Oria in its mouth.
Oh. Okay.
That one looks familiar.
And the giant eagle like recoils its wings back, and as it has a letter in its mouth, it kind of just like reaches down, almost like a bow, trying to get underneath like Oria's eyesight, and then just like pokes its not talon,
beak.
its beak. Thank you, its beak towards Oria.
Oh, you got a beak letter.
Just in case you guys didn't hear, because Aether issues, we are on it's a 3-day trip. This is the second day. In the morning, a giant eagle appears, shows you a letter. And
To Oria.
To Oria. And I should have Facebook messaged the letter to you, Tabatha.
Okay, yeah. So she would have just taken the note and I guess reading it out loud to everybody. She'll read it out loud. Elysian Vagabonds, I feel bad, but it must be this way. I feel betrayed. I almost died and you stood there, so I went to seek answers for my family. I spoke to the Lady of Silken Strings. Her name is Gecko, I think, and on my return you killed the dragon. He said it never left the swamp and he only fights the dwarves when they come picking a fight. He did mention he has a family. Gecko mentioned he had children. Did they live? She gave me the answers I needed. I am heading north to find my parents in the country of Elysian. Hidden symbol I found. And a hidden symbol I found. And it looks like a spider web.
For the people physically here, I have a little image for what the...
Wow.
Yeah, so, as I get up my notes through all these... Technically, they're character sheets. This is the image that he drew on the letter.
Yay, more spiders.
Yeah, it's not like we have PTSD about
Yeah.
freaking spiders.
Rognarv does it.
Jeremiah is talking, not Rognarv.
And as the eagle hands you the letter, before you even have time to read it, you see that its wings sprout out as a almost hitting like Ariell and like barely missing Brahm as just starts flying up in the air into from what you can tell, almost as if it was going back to the mountains, like almost if it was backtracking. So, technically you guys won't be in the swamps anymore, you'll be in a mountain passage, so I'm going to change the audio to mountains. But yes, so, you have that letter, Vagabonds. What do you do?
Laz is too angry to talk. She sits there angrily. Like, you can see it festering, like,
no,
she
I will
sits,
be,
but, like, she's not saying anything.
I will be petting Brahm. Was like, Brahm, that's not true. You helped him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh my god.
You're the one who healed him, and he didn't even say thank you.
A lot of shit happened. Like, this past day, this past week, this past fucking lifetime. Just, you know, I don't know. Shit happens. The guy's got stuff he needs to do. And then we got stuff we need to do. Mm-hmm.
As you see Orcdeath a little bit unusually up early, as his brewing supplies are already there. If it wasn't for the eagle coming in pretty soon, you guys would have been awoken to the brew of the ale that he likes making.
Yeah, I will take some of that ale when it's ready.
And he looks at, "Alright, Lally, sometimes you just got to move on. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
He made his decision." And just takes a giant sip.
Yep.
Oria, I need you to control your bee shapes. The heat dogs are bad. Spotify audio listeners, apologize.
Oria sneezed and just be shaped to a dog. Like, oops.
Oria sneezes was just a dog form. Yeah. So, as you see Era's kind of be like, okay, I'm going that way. So you guys, bye. And she kind of goes over like towards the tree, still watching you guys and like eating the bread, almost as if she was watching a sitcom, but away from your private conversation.
Okay, she's trying to be nice about it.
She's eating.
Trying to be nice about not listening to our private listening,
but she
not listening.
It's far enough that you can tell she's listening. As also you see the fox just like his ears. I mean the coyote with his ears kind of like focused in. So upon getting that letter, Ariell taking at least the mantle to cook food for this morning. What do you guys do?
I will take a goblet of that ale.
Sure.
And drink with Orcdeath for a while until we start moving out.
Okay.
Like if we start moving out. Yes?
Oria's just taking the note and just walking over and dropping it in Ariel's hands, and she's just gonna wild shape into a hawk and just fly off and just circle the area. Okay.
Okay. All right. Are you patrolling or are you just letting off some steam?
Bit of both.
All right. Roll in perception.
It's like, oh, that's a good idea. Nah. She's good drinking.
Oh God.
Because I can fly too.
21.
21.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Her perception's ridiculous.
You do see the eagles fly, but it looks like they're not really heading towards the swamp. It's flying further ahead, at a really fast speed. The other thing that you would see is using them hawkeyes is you see probably a little bit more than a day behind the knights trailing through like a normal path that is away from the swamp area and definitely not through the canyon little entrances that you guys are taking for your shortcuts. So they're pretty far behind as well.
Okay. I guess after a few minutes when everybody's getting ready to head on off, Ariell will just fly back down, wild shape back, and explain that she saw them ways back.
Ariell, on receiving the letter, he will reply a little bit with, I mean, you heard the dragon. He did say the only way for peace was the heads of the dwarven kids, and that's not something we could have done. We tried negotiating, and he was not seeking to reason. We did what we had to do. This saved many lives.
Telling that to the whole party?
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll just shrug and just say whatever helps you sleep at night and just keep walking. God damn!
You see that he also, Daddy and Mommy also are having their...
I'm actually gonna make a call like, well, I sleep at night, but really good.
I don't sleep
Not
at all,
commenting about the dragon though, but Oria doesn't know that.
I don't sleep.
So, upon receiving the letter, is there anything specific that you guys want to do on this day, the next day, before you get to the mountains?
No, I'm just practicing my X-Crows.
Okay.
I mean, I guess while we're kind of traveling and whatnot, Oria's still gonna just kind of like fiddle around with the transmuter stone because that's turned into her fidget cube.
Okay, understood.
And I guess at the same time talk with Eris, I guess.
Okay.
Just asking what she's gonna be doing once they get back into the dwarven settlement.
As soon as I get back there, I will probably just leave, go back to my forest, go back to Kionin, give information to my friends that passed to their mothers and children.
I'm gonna... Is this out loud?
Unless you want to hide it. This is being out loud.
Because I want to see if I heard what she said.
Yeah, unless you're trying to hide it, then yeah, it's out loud.
I mean, she's not. She's just doing like it's just a casual conversation.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Trying to think.
Wait, what happened?
Okay.
Backstory.
Okay. Jeremiah is trying to think.
Okay.
Jeremiah's doing a thing.
I'm gonna look at Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Aries, Aries, right?
E, instead of an A, yeah, Aries.
Oh, E.
E, yeah.
Okay. I was like, Aries, you said you're from Keonin?
Yes.
Do you know the Galano del family?
No.
Never mind. Now keep walking.
Okay, nice. Good conversations. These are pleasant conversations.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bram is the talky one.
I've talked to him, her, it thing. Yeah.
Yeah, she has a lot of things to say.
I know.
And then she's
she's a mystery to us all.
Every time I talk to her, she starts going.
All right. If there is nothing else upon reaching the final night before you guys get to the mountains, I will ask for who is taking watch in what order.
I can take first watch with Bro.
Okay. We're doing first watch. Anyone else on first watch?
Yeah, I'll go first watch.
So who do we do to second watch?
Who's second watch?
I'll do second watch.
Same.
And I guess Orcdeath and...
Yeah. And she's gonna sleep the whole time. Alright, so West Rognarv, roll me a perception on your first hour of watch.
What about Brom?
Brom can also roll perception.
This is Brom. Just saying.
Okay. Brom doesn't have ears.
Brom was really bad.
Brom really bad.
Really bad.
Eris is so asleep she fell off the edge of the DM screen.
Oh my god.
What did you get, West?
First of all, it like left out of my hands, but I rolled a natural one. So
Okay.
that's a 3.
It's
Brom?
fine. My shield got it.
Brom and Rognarv.
17 for me, and Rognarv has 7. I mean, Rognarv is 17, Brom has 7.
On this
17 for Jeremiah.
Yeah.
on this very quiet evening, you guys don't hear or sense anything. Not even game or nocturnal or twilight animals
It's
are
unusually quiet or something?
not unusually, but it's fairly quiet.
Okay.
You would even in with your perception, I would say that with the 17, you probably noticed that the way back is a little bit faster than the way up there. For whatever that means, but that's probably the only thing that you guys would notice. Unless there's anything specific that you guys want to do on your watch?
I'm just kind of patrolling the area, trying to make sure if there's no sneak attacks from people or whatnot, or monsters.
Yeah.
Or whatever's in this swamp. We're still in the swamps? Or
No, technically you guys would be in the mountainside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just that. Just kind of walking around the perimeter and stuff.
It's, your feet kind of move against a small little loose stones.
Kind of pull West's ear a little bit and ask him about. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I can't see.
I was gonna say, do you
What's
want
that?
to tilt the webcam
okay.
towards yeah.
I was like, hey West, I've seen you fight.
Yes.
I've seen you fight. But sometimes when you fight, there's this thing that comes out of your head. I kind of like it, but I don't know what.
Wait,
it
is it really?
It looks like a helmet, but you're not wearing helmet.
Like, what do they look like?
I don't know.
I
There's one right here. There's 2 right here. There's 2 somewhere around
Like-
here.
like horns?
Yes.
Oh.
You don't know?
But no, he
No,
doesn't.
I don't exactly take a lot of time to look at myself when I'm,
Why not? You're a pretty boy. Look at you. Looking at your chiseled body.
If this was,
Somebody's throwing some hints.
if this was an anime, you would see like sparkles.
But like, look at you. Look at me.
Yeah, you're like
I know I'm
the
sexy,
most
but
handsome
look at
dwarf I've ever
this.
seen in my life. You're like the most handsome dwarf I've ever seen in my life.
I know. Look at this flowing Fabio.
I shook
Yeah, I wish I had your
Whoever
hair.
that is.
Oh yes, the great bard Fabio
The
the
great
Dwarf.
Bard Fabio Dwarf.
Great.
My
I have
model.
have you heard the tale of the great Bart Fabio?
Anyway, yeah, I'm asking you that, and then I guess you didn't know that was happening.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Weird stuff has been happening with me ever since I kind of like took this contract, I guess we'll call it.
You signed
I
a
mean, I'm
contract?
sure.
What kind of
Like I'm
contract?
sure I told you about the guy I knew, and when he died, and then his voice was in my head, and then I died.
You
and
died?
then he brought me back.
You
I guess.
I don't-
I don't know.
Just kinda
It was a blur.
when you say that, I'm gonna start circling you around. It was like, you look alive to me.
I will show you the scar, the vertical scar on my neck where I was stabbed by the hobgoblin guard.
Huh.
Just,
As I
that's
look at the
where
skyscraper.
that's the sword got me.
Yeah, that looks like a sword. But you look alive.
Yeah, that's exactly. I guess I am.
It's like, did you crouch down to show me, or are you just going like that?
I mean, I would assume Wes probably just sitting on the ground.
Oh, then I will like do like this to your face, like you're warm, you'll feel alive.
Thank you.
Don't
I don't
worry,
know.
don't worry.
I
Just
mean, I don't know if I ever let you tell them about what you do.
well,
But yeah, there was a guy, and he died, and then I died, and then I would start hearing his voice in my head, and then things just started getting a little more intense, and then I took a contract with him, and now, because of this contract, I'm able to do a lot more than what I normally can.
well, I've seen you shoot some kind of fireballs from your hand. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very new. That's a new development.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna tell you a secret that I've never told anybody.
Oh my god.
Bram is a
I'm a
robot.
great secret.
Oh my god. Oh.
No!
Oh. He got that off his chest at least.
I finally got that out of my chest. Don't tell anybody right now.
I'm
I don't think you know what a robot is.
The endless expansion of our character arcs is overwhelming at times, and I understand the audience.
I can't.
As you see that there is slight tears coming out of Rognarv's face of the overwhelming amount of pressure that has been released from his shoulders.
Finally, he is free of his sins.
But isn't she glorious?
Y'all are being so loud that Laz hears everything, but she respects y'all's privacy, but she's like vibrating because she can't stop laughing. She's like trying to stay still, but she's like,
I'm like, I wanna sleep.
I was gonna say that you guys are gonna pretty loud. It might wake them up soon, but you guys beat me to that. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. That's
So-
character development though.
wow, that's a hard.
If there's other world-shattering arcs that you guys want to disclose right now, if not, then your
Well, if there's any consequence, if I'm any help, just call me.
Okay,
Just
I
ask.
can do that.
I'm kinda smart.
I mean, if you helped out Cal, I'm gonna say you're pretty smart.
Smarter than
He
any.
seems really smart.
Smarter than some of the dwarves. Than any normal dwarf.
And with that, your and probably Oria too. Your your
So much dirt.
your sleep was not really good in any way, shape, or form. And if we were doing short rest, I would hesitate to say that you guys could have taken a short rest right now because of all the interruptions in your meditative states and relaxed actions. But you guys do wake. It is
Roleplay wise,
yes.
Rognarv's whisper is a normal talk.
I would imagine.
Good. I'm so glad.
It's
That's
so
his
good that you have Wes as
whisper.
your partner right now. This is the most
If
soothing
we're
conversation.
trying to stealth somewhere, don't let him talk.
So, Oria and Laz, can you guys roll me perception on
Yeah, I
your...
guess it's our turn to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
guess I'll look at you because it's your turn to roleplay with Oria.
That's an 18.
18, okay. What
I
did you...
got a 30.
A 30.
I rolled a
I
19
figured,
and I have
like,
plus
probably
11 in perception.
Okay, so Oria,
As you do.
you again, you notice that it's very quiet. Also, you would have gathered that the trip here was a lot faster than the trip up. But you feel pretty safe. The campfire is still roaring, giving you just a little bit of illumination, a little bit of heat within these mountains and the winding winds. Laz, you're noticing a lot less greenery. You're noticing some of the trees look thinner. You're noticing that this entire day you've seen no fauna anywhere, no creatures, no birds, nests are empty. You thought that maybe just you guys are being loud, especially Rognarv. But now that it's quiet and you're focusing on watching this, there's not a single wolf, coyote, hawk, nobody's hunting, nobody's out.
I guess as I'm like taking all this in, knowing that Oria's a druid, just kind of be like, hey Oria, it's kind of quiet for a forest. Haven't really seen anything.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of look around like, yeah, it is.
Kind of wish it was like this all the time.
But at the same time, we would most likely be hearing owls or something.
Just eerily quiet.
Just really quiet. Like,
So, is there anything that you guys would specifically like to discuss before night is over and
Any
you guys
lore
reach
shattering?
to any world-breaking, earth-shattering backstory disclosures that you guys would like to give in private right now?
Oria, I think my element might be water. I'm kidding, but that's funny.
Just say that or you say
No,
that out of character.
My intelligence isn't that low.
If she actually did say that, you'll get Oria to laugh.
Your charisma might be high enough that your sarcasm levels, though, will be through the
I
roof.
do want to hear Oria laugh. I think she needs it. No, I do say it. I do say it.
As Ori, you just reflect to the very loud Rognarv not that minute ago, and a unscheduled laughter and elephant toots here and there. As
You just see her trying to like hold in a
Mm-hmm.
I haven't blown up, but he was like, oh,
As the laughing and you do see, it probably will wake up Wes and Aria. It's kind of like.
Believe me, Wes was probably already awake. He was just laying on his side pretending to be asleep. just like facing Rognarv, just like, wonder what they're talking about.
Rognarv is.
Oh my goodness.
He's asleep.
Just Oria's like, thank you, Les, I needed that.
I just like little bow.
And
Like if I heard that laugh and Rognarv is physically like awake, he probably would like, they're talking about prom.
Oh my god.
But nope, he's asleep.
That's good. I wasn't trash talking, it was just
Yeah, I know. It's just he heard if it was that's all he could
talking
hear.
as the next hour or so passes by, and a very uneventful night. Ariell and Orcdeath take up their watch to finish the night. But before the night is over, there is a sound that is heard.
Oh no.
As
Like it wakes people up.
we'll see. As you hear a
Oh my god.
and
Jeremiah knows that.
last
Yep.
you hear a coin shake and a very gentle. Are you awake?
Oh my god.
oh my god. I'm just like, oh no. And I kind of like peek down at my sword.
Oh, good, you're awake.
Oh, hi again.
Hi. Roll
It's like
perception.
I don't want to bet it.
Oh.
Like
Roll perception.
Okay,
The
I
last
got
roll.
a
The last roll.
28.
28. When you look, you see that Ariell and Orcdeath are having a conversation, but they feel kind of like you can't really hear them.
Mm-hmm.
And you could swore for a second you saw a very like silhouette of a voluptuous woman just kind of kneeling down and like almost like if she's reaching towards you, like kind of like to pick you up. It says, "Oh, you should wake up. You need to talk."
Do I see her, or it was just like a vision?
You saw a silhouette, but you hear the voice coming from your sword.
I thought you have a waifu for a sword.
Two for two on campaigns, guys.
you got a bankai.
Oh my god.
Zapato.
Would not even be the slightest mad. Would not.
As she looks at you like, "So I'm pretty hungry. Do you have anything a girl can eat?"
Let me dig in my bag. Actually, I do.
Oh, goody, cause she tells you I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, I figured
You
it's
haven't
been
been
tough.
you haven't been feeding me, and I smell a lot of coins, especially from that one. And somehow you don't know. Somehow even though the sword is talking to you, you know, and you see this like a silhouette pointing towards Rognarv.
Oh.
Yes, pointing towards you since you're the one that last technically got gold.
Nope. Last party I gave it to the bag of beans. I shared it.
We did divide up. That's why I have
Yes,
gold.
that's true. As I'm
Well, I guess I am
searching
the one who
for
grabbed
notes
it.
here. Okay.
Like I guess I am the one who grabbed it.
Do you have any secret gems? Well, I mean, you don't have to tell like Laz that, but like, if you had extra gold, maybe that's what she's pointing at, or gems or something. We're all kind of broke.
As she looks at you like, the more you feed me, and again you can like almost see the silhouette just like go like this, like trying to be cutesy towards you. The more I let you see things, like this. And then you see the silhouette kind of like snap her fingers, but you don't hear it from the position. You hear it from the sword. You hear a snap. And then you see everyone except for Wes glowing.
Oh.
Makes sense.
And like, they all have coin.
Oh no.
As long as they have coin, I can see them and smell them and feel them. And I can give you that sight too.
That's kind
But you gotta feed a girl.
I mean, it sounds like a fair trade. We are about to get paid, so you're in luck.
Oh, good. And when you say paid, you see that the sword, the hilt, the smile of Olia kind of like, you even hear the metal just bend to even more deeper grin.
Wow, that's
my
so
God.
cool.
freaking cool.
I think that's cool, but Laz is like
creepy at the same-
sweating. She's like, ah.
Like,
But-
yes,
That
yes,
is
yes, sword,
cool
whatever
and
you say.
creepy at the same time. Oh my gosh.
Okay, just, what's that saying they say? Something keeps the doctor away? No, fuck that. A gold coin a day keeps me happy.
That's a much better saying.
Yeah, fuck doctors. Okay, I'll let you sleep, and I'll give you your hearing back. And then you hear Ariell's, Les, are you okay? I was saying your name, you weren't listening.
Oh.
You were
sorry.
talking in your sleep. I just didn't know if you were talking to us.
No, I was having this dream that I was like back home in the ocean, and there was a fish there, and he was wanting to take me somewhere, and I said, no way, not doing that again. So
Again?
As Ariell looks at you, yes, the ocean can be quite.
Ocean's fucking weird.
yeah,
As Wes, do you say that out loud?
Where's...
I do.
Oh, and are we...
If everyone's talking, I'm talking.
You're technically in the night of the second day. The next day, you guys will reach the mountains.
Oh.
Yeah. And at the current speed that you guys are going with Wes, you'll probably reach it like midday. Just in time before the sun sets. So, unless there's anything specific you guys want to do, let's reach the town and get y'all's reward. So, as you guys are approaching, and I'm trying to find the best music to indicate the tavern that you guys are, the map of that. As there's plenty of dwarves outside rummaging, doing their daily routines in and out of the mountains. You can see some elven traders here and there. You don't see any of the adventurers that left arrive at all. You still see some of the carts or some other adventurers that didn't leave and are currently getting their notes. As you see, Ariell says, "I guess I'll be back with the reward. Where do you want me to meet you?"
Sea levels, right? There's a sea
You
level.
see those taverns in these mountains, yes.
I will suggest that.
I'll see you and Jamal in a minute or so. I'll be back, as I don't think this conversation will be too pleasant amongst the king. I'll just have it myself.
Okay.
See you guys in a bit. Hopefully an hour sooner. As you see Ariell say, "It was lovely seeing you." She goes and specifically gives Laz a hug.
Aww.
And then the coyote kind of wraps around you. She goes over to Wes and she's like,
Aw.
hugs, but kind of awkward and almost like a pat at the back. Like, wow, you're literally just fucking. You don't have any. As she's poking your muscles and your like, you have nothing but stones on you. Okay, that's weird.
I'm gonna look at her and kind of pry her brain a little
Sure,
bit too.
sure. She goes and gives you a hug and then.
Before she really leaves, is
Hi.
I was like, if you don't mind me asking,
I
how
might
old
mind.
are you?
Oh,
Because
I stopped counting after 70.
so you're somewhat of a young elf, I'm guessing.
Sure.
But how do you not know the family Galanotel?
Because I don't?
Because they are the leader. Leaders, never mind. Well, it was nice meeting you. Thank you for your help with your fire thing.
Yeah. thank you for your help with your scorpion who's missing 2 legs.
Make more explosions.
You hear Rod.
Wonderful.
And she's like, wait, no, I should need to deactivate. I don't want to shut off. And I gotta put the Rod back in.
Yeah, well, not here, but wonderful.
She goes over and she gives Aria's already left, but then she goes and gives Laz a hug, and it feels warm and very sincere. That's probably the best word when she gives you a hug, and then goes over to Orcdeath, bye, and then kind of just leaves. Unless you guys want to say anything to her, she would just hug you guys, thank you, and to be on her way. So, party members and Orcdeath, what do you guys want to do? As Ariell is on his way to go pick up your reward.
I'm going to the Sea Devils since that's where we're meeting.
Okay, no problem.
I don't think Elle or Jamal want to see me back just yet, so I'm gonna explore town.
Actually, yeah, I do want to go to the town because I just kind of remembered I wanted to buy some parchment and I guess ink or something to write on.
Sure.
Reason.
Yeah, you can.
Artificer reason.
Ironically, I wanted to see if there was a bookshop around.
Oh.
Bookshop? Yeah, there'll be a bookshop.
Oh, and I want to sell something. So.
Okay. If you're selling like many things, we can do it after break.
Yeah.
With a 66, there are a good amount of bookstores at the lower levels of the halls. You need to go maybe about 200 feet down below where the surface is, but you'll find some bookstores depending on what you're specifically looking for. The most common thing is manuals on making everything under the sun. But there's a lot of manuals. There's something specific that you were looking for.
I guess Wes has got it in his head of maybe books on, like, I guess either history or like, I'm trying to get in Wes' head at this moment. He would literally just walk into a bookshop and be like, "Hi, do you have a book on hell?"
You would look at one of the dwarves. Laddie, we sell manuscripts here. We don't have that. I've checked in Temple of Morden. They might have something more that you would need. Also, what the fuck?
Ooh. I know.
That's not usually a normal conversation starter. Maybe come in with, "Hey, Master Dwarf, what do you have in the jewelsmithy committee?" And then we talk a little bit, and then you kind of start saying that you're some type of devil worshipper, and then you go into that.
Well, I'm not a devil worshipper, but yeah, okay, whatever.
Then, what I'm saying is that try the Temple of Morden. They might be able to help you.
Rognarv, were you with me or no?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I mean, just for your inconvenience, do you sell parchment?
Yeah. It's,
Okay, this guy wants to buy some parchment.
Dude,
Let's point to Rognarv.
sure, we have some scroll parchment right here.
Just empty parchment.
This.
Some ink or something. Just
Yeah, just casual parchment. Are you looking for archaic parchment and ink, or just normal paper?
No, just paper. For
Oh, yeah, they'll have that for you depending on how much you want. A few copper will suffice, depending on just the amount of volume you want for each.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about that.
sorry.
I think Oria's gonna kind of like keep an eye out for like jobs too. She's kind of going around.
She's keeping an eye out for what, sorry?
No, just Oria's, I guess, kind of floating. Well, wait, where's Laz at?
Laz, Orcdeath, and Oria,
I'm
where
on
do you
a
guys?
shopping trip with them
Okay,
because I
you're
need to
shopping.
sell some stuff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so then Oria's kind of hanging around too.
Okay. Then I guess Orcdeath
is drinking.
Orcdeath's gonna go to Jamal's and drink. That is
That's right.
his.
Gotta go discuss more business prospects.
Yeah. Okay. So. Are you guys just want to do general shopping? Is that it?
Kind of shopping, and then
Well,
if
Wes
he...
has an intended plan now that he's being pointed in a direction, he's gonna go in that direction.
If Wes is trying to go to the temple, I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
Because Temple of Morden.
Yeah, Temple of Morden. Morden would be the our god of the dwarves. So last you want to buy and sell some things, right?
Yeah, just like general stuff.
Okay, and
Little weapons and
okay, Oria, same deal, buying and selling items.
No, Oria's just gonna kind of hang out with Wes because hearing him go into this bookshop and be like, "Hi, can I get a book on hell?" I sell it real good.
She's our chauffeur.
Like, oh god, he's doing this.
Okay.
Our tag along mom on our field trip.
Okay.
It's just kind of walking around with.
So me walking around with Brom, this is nothing unusual for them.
No, it's unusual.
Oh, because,
it's just
it's
a dwarf in a dwarven city with a construct. They're going to be curious and ask, and you might be stopped every now and then, like a cosplayer at a convention, be like, "Ooh, what EVC foam did you use on that?" But
oh my God.
that's the level of oddity that it's going to be. It's not that it's
more
weird. It's more of curiosity and like, "Oh, that's really really good. Did you make it? How did you make it? Tell me about these bolts. Oh, are these 2 inches? Like that whole conversation."
Okay.
So
that.
for those that don't know the emblem of Morden, here is a little picture of the sign and for the players. Yeah, we can show the flag. It'd be the bottom one over there. The 3.5 god. Yeah, it's just all the way at the bottom.
Oops, I pressed the wrong one.
Oh, it's fine. Whatever. Yeah. So as you guys are going towards the Temple of Morden, it would be after you go to the libraries and the lower levels of the shopping district. Morden would be in the middle. It almost doesn't feel like you guys are traveling too much, as it's almost as if every single level in all the halls kind of migrate integrally into the center to the Temple of Morden. And as you guys are approaching, you see these large adamantium structures, since now you know what the steel adamantium is, of these dwarves with these huge thick beards and integral jewels all around them. And these are actual jewels. So you actually see rubies and sapphires and gems and emeralds on the beards as decorations. As there's these 2 dwarves, one with an axe holding himself in position, and then the other one with a hammer holding himself in position. And they're full-plated armor of these large, almost 30-foot tall cathedral entryways. And what you hear before you step in is just...
Are they gonna stop Brum?
They're not gonna stop Brum. But you hear like a cacophony of just smithing as technically entering the Temple of Morden at the moment. So, what do you guys do as you are approaching the halls? And as soon as you get about 20 or 30 feet before you enter the main hall entrance, you see that the stone starts becoming intricately more detailed and carved in almost diamond shapes, but completely smooth.
Like what are we doing? Like I'm typing in the chat. Rognarv is fangirling. He is just admiring the detail of workmanship.
If you have knowledges in religion, you actually may roll, since this is the first time you technically interacted with Morden, except for Rognarv, who worships Morden already. If you don't, then this looks like the god of dwarves.
Like when I see that picture or something, like that, I'm gonna kneel down for respect and stuff. Okay. I'm gonna nudge Brom too. And then like the 2 legs on front will go down, but the high
you see Rognarv and Brom bow before the entrance, before going inside the cathedral.
I just watch him do this, and then I just walk in with him.
Okay.
We're like awkwardly watching you in the doorway.
You know, it's like when your friend's like, "Hey, you want to come to church with me?" And then they do this weird Catholic thing, and you're like,
I don't know what that is. Do we kneel or stand? Why?
Not all of them.
Wait, why are we breaking out some crackers? What's happening?
Yeah. So, as you guys enter the Temple of Morden, and you see everything in here is like masterwork crafted. The bench, it took years to make. The sculpture and reliefs on the walls took years to make. There is not an inch on here that is not symmetrical with the other side, in these very smooth, straight, rough geometrical shapes, and it is intricate as all can be. And once you go inside, you actually, all three of you, except for Rognarv, you feel physically heavier once you reach inside temples, as though someone's putting weight on your shoulders. And for a small second, all three of you, as soon as you enter, you kind of just...
Oh god.
What the hell was that?
Is this me
Do I see
talking
that?
my
Yeah,
son?
you see them as all three of them almost
But
instinctively
do I
kind of
know-
like
do
move.
I know
Like it feels like the
why, or-
weight is on their
I
shoulder.
would know why or something.
Are you a cleric of Morden, or are you just a
Well,
worshiper?
no, I am a worshiper, and yeah, I worship because and I do crafts
Yeah.
and stuff. So I don't know if
I'll let you roll religion with the disadvantage.
Okay.
I just look at Wes, I'm like, do you also feel the weight of your sins too?
That is a 9.
As soon as Last says that, I guess it's their sins. That makes sense right now. Sure.
Nay, because you're judging, bro.
Roll me perception, everybody.
Okay. Oh. I got a natural 20.
Of
Okay.
course.
Which would make that a 31?
You'll see in a second.
Can you please tell me?
I have a 22.
Okay.
My sins are holding me back.
Wes, what did you roll? And Ariell, Oria, what did you roll?
West rolled 14.
Okay.
Oria
Oria?
got a 24 total. She got a nat 20.
Okay,
24.
so both Oria and Wes, you're like, is it because of this is what's in my head? Like, is it really my
I
sins?
think I just always chalked it up as anxiety.
Oria and Laz, you notice that everybody here has some sort of steel on them, except for the three of you.
What about hers?
It's not steel armor.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Just talking about
It almost looks
steel
like
in
they're
general.
all decored and a formal, not necessarily ready for battle, but if it calls for it, their robes and their attire could be used effectively in a fight. And you feel it as though, like, both you and Oria feel as almost like somebody literally just put armor on you, like literally put the weight of like full plate just all on top of your shoulders at one moment, and you get used to it pretty easily, almost like shoulder pads or something.
Yeah.
But the initial
Just
impact
sudden-
of marching into the temple put that weight on top of you.
Yeah, okay.
Like every time I see a cleric, I'll just kind of
Dwarves and their
do
medals.
like this. One.
Yeah, they bow. And you
Why are you guys
see.
complaining? It doesn't feel like anything.
Says the one who's like 80% muscle, 20% demon.
94.
94% muscle, 6% demon. 6.6% repeating demon. Well, fiend technically. So,
6.6 to 6.
as you see a elderly looking dwarven man, completely shaven, with huge thick white beard, that is cross-sectioned into the inside into like a one thick braid, holding off by these two cross-sectioning hammers that are holding the braid together. And he looks to have silver and white robes on top of some sort of like chest plate, and he's walking with a cane. As you see that one of his legs is not really that useful right now, but he's maybe about 40 feet away, and every step that you hear, you don't really hear his footsteps, but you do hear the of the cane that he has. I hear the.
Is the cane metal?
The cane looks like it's made out of metal. Yes.
Okay, I figured.
So, what do you guys do as this man is approaching you?
This is out of my realm.
I want to talk to him.
Okay. Is there anything specific you guys do, or just gonna let the man approach you?
I need to sound really smart in this moment.
Approaching to us
Oria, help
specifically,
me.
or just
Well, to the group specifically, yes.
okay. I will kind of move to the front of the party and
Beer face.
Do I know if it's a cleric or not? Or
I mean, he looks like to have some sort of higher. He looks to have royal clothing within the guards.
If it's like that, I was gonna not really kneel, but kind of bow my head down.
As you see, he bows his head, and one of you guys do the same.
Like
I'll do like a courtesy.
Like I'll actually
Sure.
courtesy, like grab my axe, put it down like that.
And a thing that you guys do see as soon as he does that, all the people here, every single dwarf has a pick, a hammer, or an axe on them. This is one of the first churches you've ever been, or at least holy sites, where weapons are part of the uniform.
I like that.
As he approaches, I guess Rog would be.
I kind of cut in front.
Okay, Rognarv would be in front.
Rog is always
Okay.
right next to me.
As he approaches you guys, what can I do you for?
Well, he's been wanting to. He's looking for something. I'm just admiring.
Oh god. I look at Oria.
Yes, tall human, how can I do you for?
I'm looking at Oria like, help me sound smart.
My friend here is interested in some of the texts and tomes that you may happen to have here.
Knowledge. The great fuck of life. As he kind of leans in, kind of squinting, you see that his eyes are slightly like glossy, kind of pulls almost sort of like glasses onto him. I thought I recognize you fucks. You guys are the bag of beans, aren't you?
Oh.
Yes. Follow me. Follow.
Actually, when he said that, I got like this with my axe on the floor.
Obviously, you have your leader here. Good boy. It's kind of like reaches him. Good lass. Good lad. And kind of takes you guys towards location. What specific tomes are you looking for, boy?
I'll look back over it more. I'm trying to think of how Oria is gonna put it without scaring this guy.
You see that he walks towards, like, as you guys are walking, and he says that, and he kind of like bows his head towards the main anvil that is like where the ceremonies and like the clergy start speaking. You see that out of his beard he takes out a flask, takes a sip, and then you see there is a small little like water flow that it's underneath, and kind of like pours one out into the water and kind of flexes his flask and puts it back in his beard.
Oh, okay.
Respect.
And then
I guess
there, then yeah, I'll do the same.
okay.
I guess just in response to his question, it's Wes just saying what tomes do you have?
Well, there tend to be more tomes for our sake, but we could help a little bit depending on what you be looking for, and depending if I like you enough to actually let you read the fucking thing.
Well, this is the
boy.
Discussing.
I'm not good at impressing people.
I'm tempted to say something just because I have such good persuasion, but at the same time, it's like, what if I roll bad and I get us kicked out? I'm not even part of this religion.
So, what can the All Harma do for ye?
I'm looking for.
While they're talking, can I present?
Sure.
Whatever Wes says, I want to assist. Whatever he
little
says.
ritual over there in the main temple.
I guess I'm looking for books on other planes. That's the word, right? Or he's just looking at Wes and giving him like a thumbs up.
Remember persuasion.
Oh god.
And how are you assisting lass?
When Wes like stutters to say that, I'll just kind of come in with like my arm over him, like we're really close. I'll just be like, you understand, every religion has a great beyond, the good, the evil. We're just curious about what realm, what happens after this world.
The afterlife. What's your persuasion?
I'm rolling it right now.
Okay, roll with an advantage.
Yeah, because of
Trust me,
layout.
You can do it.
Yes. What? That's a good roll. The 17.
I have a tone for you.
No, oh my God.
What?
I have a tone for you.
Oh, okay.
Right here. I'll be back. Well, in the meantime, you confess your sins and do a couple of shots for each one.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I could do shots here.
This is getting better and better.
Oh, yes.
And then he looks at you, and on their penance, make them craft something that be worthy of a hammers.
Ooh, you done lost me there.
Something that you might like. A small little toy, something to cheer someone up.
Oh, I have a hammer.
Okay.
Can I show him my hammer?
Your beautifully magical maul, as he looks at it, and he kind of,
Yeah.
is this okay? Kind of hands it back.
It's okay.
It's not dwarven.
Yeah, as a,
Wow,
it's
you
not
see
to
this.
his quality.
Have you seen this?
And then you look at the integral details of his and you start thinking about Orcdeath's axe and how it like has jewels encrusted in it, and like these both are magic. They're not just magical axes; they're masterwork axes, which add to the like flair to it.
goodness.
So the priest is going to leave you guys alone for a minute or two. Is there anything specific you guys want to do as you guys are at the front of the thing and you? They're not very subtle, but you do see every other dwarf that's walking by talking about you.
Oh,
Like,
gross.
how are we? Like, what? How am I gonna do that little craft thing with them or something? I don't know.
He just says, as he said to you, to pay for their sins that they have committed, make them craft something to bring some sort of joy or cheer to somebody.
Craft here on the temple, or just craft?
He just said it. Like, make sure that they make
okay.
something.
Just
Make sure that they're working with their hands, as a cleric of Morden would do. He didn't give you a task or sent you on a mission. He just passively said it.
oh, okay. It's like
Instead of
just
doing
like I was saying.
10 Hail Marys, the Church of Morden would be like, build something, work with your hands, get intricate and detailed with something, create something into
It's
this world.
like a may the force be with you.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah. So as it takes about 20 or 30 minutes, and you get a very thick book just dropped on your lap, West.
Okay.
The book actually feels like it's made out of stone, so like legitimately a book, and the cover is stone, and the pages intricately are just thinner sheets of stone,
No.
and it is completely and 100% in Dwarven.
Awesome.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
Does
no,
Thomas
wait,
work
can I?
with reading?
Yes.
Thomas, I cast Thomas
Hold
on.
up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
Oh, maybe he's got something. Oh,
Like,
I don't know.
Like-
Let's see.
like,
Double check. I just want to
I
double check this.
mean,
I got magic. I do finger gun sparks
I
now.
mean,
I have eyes of the Runekeeper. I can read all writing.
All right.
Hey!
Okay.
As
That's me supposed to.
Wes opens the book, and you see for a split second his eyes turn that pinkish and red
We're
hues
useless.
of just his
Useless.
eyes. Wes, you can read fluent Dwarven right now.
Nice.
As the priest, let's see if the priest actually sees that.
do
Oh no.
do I see him reading Dwarf?
You see his eyes change color.
Oh.
Well, sorry. What is your passive perception?
Mine is 16.
Okay.
My passive perception is 14.
Okay. 14.
Yes.
Okay. So you have +4 perception.
Yes.
Okay. Les,
21.
passive 21. All right. So, you too see him,
God damn, girl.
and so does the priest. Lad, I'm gonna sit right the fuck next to you as you read this, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Good. As long as we have an understanding.
Good.
And whoever's sitting next to them, the priest is like, you can move. And he sits next to you, and then he unhooks a chained hammer that he has and puts it right on his lap.
Oh.
Fair.
I mean, this is a holy text. We gotta give him credit.
And so Wes. It's a very thick and intricate book. I'm going to say, if you're going to read this, roll me an intelligence. Keep that number to you, and then roll me a wisdom to see how we comprehend these words that we're hearing.
Alright. Wow!
Did you get a nat 20? Or a natural 1?
No. It wasn't a nat 1, but that's pretty good.
Okay, so what did you get on intelligence?
Intelligence, I have an 11.
Okay, alright, so you're able to at least read this enough before falling asleep. That's good. We basically passed that. What was your wisdom check?
Okay. My wisdom is 7.
Okay. You know that Morden, the dwarven father, the soul forge, as he likes to be called sometimes, goes through a long, brief history, some texts about gems and metal craftsmen and what are good gems, what are pure gems, ores. Kind of skip through that chapter. You read a lot about Grumish. You know that he's the orc god. You start reading about Coleton, the elven god, and their relations, and some other argumentative tusk. Some good information about Carl Glittergold, the god of the gnomes, and how he likes him. He's funny.
Look at all this information you're learning, West.
And
See if I retain it.
nothing about the plains. Nothing about hell.
Okay.
Nothing about the abyss. This seems to be a specific book on Morden himself and his escapades and what it has done.
Okay.
So, with that, what do you do?
Well, once I kind of give it the skim through, and I guess seeing that doesn't have any information that I need, I guess I'll just close the tome and I'll hand it back to the priest and just tell him thank you.
Hope you found the answers you were looking for, boy. If not, you can come back. But I doubt that you did. He kind of smiles a little bit. Drink up. Reviving your spirit. And if it doesn't, then you're shit-faced and you can't remember your pain.
That's good advice.
That's usually the option I go for.
Yes, that's the best advice.
As he bows his head, takes his tome, and then leaves you guys to your business. And with that, we're going to go on break. Sell the things that you wanted to sell, buy the things that you guys wanted to buy. And unless there's anything specific that you guys want to go, I guess we will reconvene at the Sea Devils with Ariell?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so we'll be back in 15, guys. See you in a bit. Hey, yo, Vic. I've got the new script you sent us for the next episode. So we have new players. Who's Grayson? You know who that is?
Yeah, I'm reading that too. What's this? Tori Val?
So we have new players.
New players?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, dude. So it also says that the schedule's changed. We're playing on Mondays now.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, what happened to Tuesday?
That'll team out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Okay.
And just one last little thing.
And it's online now?
Yeah, that. So we're not playing in the studio anymore. It's all online. All right, man. That fucking works for me. All right. Cool. See you later. Bye. Okay, so you guys have left the Temple of Morden, sold the items that you need to sell, bought a couple of great axes, sold off some magical items. Huh?
Sold great axes.
Sold great axes, sorry. Sold great axes, sold some magic items, like the wands and the axes that you guys didn't like. Many axes being sold today, actually. As I'm trying to find the appropriate audio cue for the Sea Devil's Tavern. As you approach, Ariell has not yet gotten there, but you do see a very drunken Orcdeath out of corner
Is he
by
still
himself.
drinking, or is
Oh
he
no,
passed out?
he has like about 10 glasses on him. He has been hitting it hard.
Wait, he's drunk? Orcdeath is drunk?
He's been hitting
We were
hard.
gone for like
Oh.
what? 3 hours?
Yeah. He's pretty hammered right now.
Oh my.
You can see he's just and kind of puts his head down. You see that he's still up, but his head's like on the table.
I've been there.
You do see Jamal up in the corner, and Elle, and she as she looks at you guys, she kind of just goes to the back, and you see a kinda like he's pretty easy to see. He's not really hiding it. Pretty annoyed Jamal.
Okay.
So,
I'll go wait outside, guys.
West goes outside.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna say that out loud. That I'm gonna go wait outside because I feel like the annoyance is me, so I'm gonna leave.
No,
Or Bria's just gonna reach out with her trunk and wrap it around Wes's arm and just be like, no, you don't.
Do you
you don't.
stop? So, Wes, do you stop or do you go inside the tavern?
Well, if Oria's gonna stop me, then I can't resist Oria. So.
Okay.
This is the Oreo's version of pinching your ear.
As,
Yeah.
You go inside the tavern. Has that a very strong scent of ham this morning or this afternoon. Sorry. The smell of spirits and ales are there. You see a couple of dwarvens come in and out. It looks pretty relatively empty, and there is definitely about 4 tables spread apart away from Orcdeath, as everyone else is kind of almost at the opposite side. that Orcdeath has specifically selected a very small bench with a broken chair next to him to drink by himself.
Oh man, he's on the sauce.
Oh boy.
So, what do we do, guys?
Oria's gonna, I guess, approach Jamal and ask, "Hi, what happened here?" Trying to gesture over to Orcdeath.
As Jamal
I'm
looks...
gonna just be standing as close to the door as I can.
Okay. I'll point you a little bit closer here because we don't have a specific map. Where are my markers? Oh. I can quickly just draw something really fast, and we do have this available. So I'll just... Yeah... I'll say this is the bar. Table, entryway. Just a crude old school D&D drawing. You guys remember back in the day when the DM sucked at drawing. Orcdeath by himself. Let's put him at a little bench over here. Wes said he's by the door, as the door apparently is inside the bar. So, we're about you guys. And we'll be in the kitchen.
I'll be with Wes, just chilling.
Okay. That marker is about to die. Alrighty.
We're just vibing by the door.
You approach Jamal, you said, Oria?
Yeah.
Yes. You said, oh, what happened here, right?
Yeah.
Remind me, okay. Nothing. And he looks very strict. What can I get you?
That's no good.
Is Brom allowed inside? I don't remember. If
He's not being kicked out.
Okay. Because I was like, we stepped inside the door, I was gonna clean him up, and then we started walking to a table or something.
Yeah, Oriel will just die. I just feel like just a water.
You see that he kind of quickly just grabs a thing, just pours over some water, as it kind of like the rim of it is like it was very rushly done, and like the clay cup still has like water kind of spilling on it as he puts it down on the ground, and you hear the as water kind of spills over his hand, drags it towards you. We have a special on Dwarven Scouts, if you'd like some.
Wait, what?
As he says,
Because you broke that.
we have a special on Dwarven Scouts. As he sees like he's like reading you off the menu, like you're a brand new person that he's never seen before.
Oh. What did Orcdeath do?
Like he's not trying to hide that.
What do you mean hide that?
He's annoying.
I don't know if he knows how to do that, but
is
he's
it
not.
annoyance or like just test, or is that the right word for it?
You can roll me insight.
Nasty. Can you roll an insight? Because Oria's not putting up with this shit right now.
Yeah, Oria should roll inside. I'm like at the door.
Sure, roll me insight.
No, girl. +4, so 23.
23. I am about to message you.
Secret
message.
Secret messages.
Secret tunnel song. Secret tunnel.
As Ori is having this slight conversation, Wes, Rognarv, and Laz, you see Orcdeath drowning in his liquor. What do you guys do? You three specific, as Ori is currently at this very second talking to Jamal.
I'm actually gonna approach Orcdeath. I'm not really gonna say anything, but I'm gonna just kind of look at him and look at the surroundings if he did anything.
Everything looks fine. He doesn't. Well, roll me perception to be completely honest. If you're just passing glaze, everything looks fine.
I guess I'll just kind of get over it and just go. I guess just the familiarity of. Yeah, I've been there. Going up to Orcdeath, and I'll just grab him by the head and lift him up off the bar.
As you guys both approach him, as
you're dragging Orcdeath to the bar? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
she's saying
Well,
picking him up off the table. Like the head.
Orcdeath's on his face is like on the table or something.
yeah, his face is on the table, and you see that he's not drunkenly asleep. It's just, he's just as you pull his as you're looking around first, Rog, you look around to see like there's any like broken splinters of wood or like any tables that's been damaged or anything or shattered like glass or mugs or anything, beer spilled. It looks perfectly. I mean, there's some ale that's been spilled on the table, but it seems to be like very accumulated like around the mug itself. So it doesn't look like he's been in a brawl or anything. It looks like he's literally been sitting here quietly drinking. And as Wes, you kind of pull up his head, he looks at you.
Yeah.
Rafe, I'm sorry. I know, disappointed. He puts his head down.
Only Western then?
Roll me perception. Tech.
Did you say that again? Just make sure I heard it right.
He perception with disadvantage for last, unless you're right next to them. Are you right next to them?
I was gonna be with them.
Okay, then perception normally.
Last said she was right next to Wes.
Yes. I just wanted to make sure. 1 second. What did you get last?
27.
Okay, yeah, you heard it for sure.
18.
18. Yeah, I'll say you heard. It was a very faint whisper, but as soon as you pulled over his head, like as you're grabbing his hair, and he looked at you, he had almost like sorrow tears, and his words were, "Reefer, I'm sorry I've disappointed you."
I'm immediately dropping him.
And as soon as that happens, you just hear a.
Oops.
He looks at you. Where's the angel
What
boy?
the fuck?
As he looks at
Not here yet.
Dylan, I'm sorry I broke ranks and won't do that again. Do you have help? I've run out. As there's like 2 more mugs filled.
Hey, oh boy. You know what? Why don't we just get you a water or tea and
An ale.
we're gonna get you a watery ale.
No,
Mine is still water.
no, I'm gonna look at Wes. Like, I'll give him some ale. I specifically paused and said ale.
He kind of like
Okay.
drunken mumbles.
I'll go to the bar.
You see that he gets his beard and starts like cleaning himself up.
Go to the bar.
Okay, so as that was happening, Oria, you rolled your insight. They're having their own conversation for like the next minute or so. So you and Jamal are able to speak if you would like.
Yeah, well, one, you just see, Oria's gonna kind of jump a little bit hearing Orcdeath's head hit the table again. And she's just kind of like look over at Orcdeath and look over at Jamal and just like, look, a lot of things have just recently happened. What's going on?
He looks at you. I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you just shoot on
You just
sight?
see Oria just kind of
Oh.
do what?
As he looks at you, I don't know, and then kind of like motions very like obviously towards the dwarves. I don't know. Why don't you just shoot on sight? All dragons, they should just die, right?
Do we hear that?
He's not quite. What'll be? We have dwarven
look.
scouts.
Okay, look.
He looks at you, very unimpressed, West. And you see that as soon as you voice, he kind of just like puffs his arms up, and like you for a second, you're like, oh, I didn't know you were that big. And so like he kind of like inhales and like actually tightens himself up. You see that his like pectorals are like pushing his arms forward.
It's a big boy.
Wes does not give a shit about size.
I mean, he's killed things like 5 times his size, so sure, but you definitely see Jamal's annoyance. And it's not like Jamal is the person that's subtle enough to try to intimidate based on his size. You've encountered Jamal many times. You see that he's just generally angry and tense.
Give it to him, Wes. Give
I'm
it to
just-
him.
Listen, if you're gonna be pissed at anyone about that, you're gonna be pissed at me because I was the one that had to fucking shoot it out of the sky. I didn't want to do it, but our hands were forced because it was trying to kill us, and I was trying to get everyone out of that godforsaken swamp alive because I didn't want to lose any more fucking friends.
Well, technically speaking, the one who really drew first blood was those annoying bastards.
Yeah, fucking her brother.
Yeah, those erroneous fucks were the ones that started it. We were gonna leave the dragon alone, but they wanted to try to kill it, and then the dragon wanted to lump us together with those fuckheads, and then I had to kill a fucking dragon I didn't want to kill. There's your fucking story, Jamal.
I saw. I know what happened and what people did.
What?
He's going to say.
Just
As he's about to say it, you immediately see just glasses kind of shatter towards the back, and El kind of comes up. Jamal, get your fucking ass back in the kitchen. And he just looks very annoyed. And she kind of comes over. He's a little testy at the moment.
Oh. Things are clicking in my head. Woo!
Oh god, damn it.
I can't say what's happening, but he's very hurt by the decision you guys made. Not that I'm blaming any one of you.
Oh my
I'm
god.
I mean, you can blame me because I was the one that did it.
Yeah,
Don't blame anyone else.
Don't put your fucking hero's conscience in this. It was a group decision.
I'm not a fucking hero. I was the one that threw the final blow.
Shh. The grown-ups are talking right now. If you want ale, we can give you some ale.
Fine.
After today, we're leaving the mountains. Jamal has to say bye to a friend. We're going to try to meet up at tea. We should have left a while ago, but we didn't.
Fine.
He was there to deliver a message to an old friend. You can fucking call them that. And he saw what happened. It's a little testy at the moment. Specifically that motherfucker right there. And she kind of points her.
Two.
And she points directly towards Rognarv.
What did I do? What did I do?
I'm going to repeat. I think it was... Oh, another dragon. Did we just shoot it?
Me? I didn't shoot anything. I just disappeared.
I believe my husband's words. I also believe that you guys did good. And I've seen you do good. And you're still trying to repay some fucking bastard in your head's deeds too. Which makes you more honorable than most, I guess. What I'm saying is I'm going to defend my husband and his decision. And this might be a very long time before you see us again.
I respect that.
So, with that fucking heavy monologue, I'll give you guys some free ale on the house. And I'll leave my cousins to attend to the rest tomorrow morning. We're leaving tonight. We're going to go to visit a friend and promise. And I wish you the best in life. Sounds
Same to
like
you.
your everything is hard for you at the moment. Look, he's young. He lets things go to his head. Oh, I fought in a couple of wars, therefore I know what I'm talking about. Still a child. Still a child to my age, so we'll see you in a bit. Other than these 3 dwarven skeleton elves, is there anything I can assist you with or help you?
Water.
Yes, I can get you some water. Also, your friend is pretty fucking shit-faced.
He was like, but can you put it on, what's this?
The Elmwood?
On the where you usually put ale on.
I can do that
tankard?
for you. Yeah, I'll put some water on a tankard for you. If you want to look like you're drinking. I can also give you some light beer for the children, what they drink.
Beer? Light beer? Is what
Yeah,
it
light beer for what the children
is?
drink.
Okay.
If you would like something not too strong,
No, it's for that guy. He
Alright.
wants more ale.
I'll give him some ale. And
Just
she
water.
pours all 3. She'll pour a dwarven scout for each one of you, even though you didn't ask for one, and then give you water, and then sigh as she gets and starts cleaning the spilled water that Jamal spilled on top of the counter, and then give you a nicer, cleaner thing of water without it being spilled, and hands it directly to your hand, Oria. I don't know if you guys should apologize, if he should apologize. I don't fucking know how that works. Diplomacy is not my strong suit. I would punch you if I was mad at you.
That's his feelings. If he felt that way, then just let him stew with it.
That's what I'd say.
I respect his feelings. I'll turn around and
The better? And she kind of awkwardly alright,
thank you for all.
I need
your
to go
services.
clean the shit I just broke. I'll be back in a minute.
Then I'll go back here and give him his pus ale.
When you arrive, Orcdeath is passed out.
I'm still with him yeah, he fell asleep. I didn't want to touch him, he's kind of gross.
He smells really bad.
Yeah, he stinks.
Can I mend him?
I wish it worked that way.
Purify food and water.
I mean, it's anything alcohol poisoning, less the restoration.
So,
Technically.
Purify food and
with
water.
that information, what did the vagabonds do?
Well, I guess we'll just
I
kind
will-
of linger around and wait.
Yeah.
Oh! I want to go
I'll-
back actually and if Elle is still there, I was gonna ask how much for the rent.
It'd be a gold a day.
How much is that?
It's a
How
lot.
many days were we gone?
Oh, for the cart. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, that was a silver, so that is 7 days worth of silver.
Okay.
So 7 silver.
Okay.
Completely forgot until the day apparently, because the husband is pretty mad. And when you guys look at Couscous and Pony is gone. Couscous is Horsey, sorry. Horsey is gone. Couscous is still. They've been taken care of very well. They've been
Couscous
washed.
is
They've
still
been
needed.
brushed. They were taken care of very, very well. So,
Like, if I was still
uh-huh.
there, I was gonna drop a gold and just say, this is for the rent and for all the trouble that
appreciate it.
we probably did.
Appreciate
Or
it.
something. Then,
She takes the gold, goes back to the kitchen. You see a couple dwarves just oh, my business, none of my business, and start drinking. Yeah. Whoopsie, that was in public. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna take one of the ales, one stouts. I guess the second one I'm gonna offer to Oria. If she wants to drink it. If she doesn't, then I'm taking that for myself too.
yeah, I'll take the other one. Can I put it on a flask?
Roll me dexterity, and it won't all fit. Are you trying to be clean or just whatever
Yeah,
fits?
try to
whatever fits?
be clean and
Roll me dex.
just straight dex.
Yeah, straight dex.
Wow, that's not a good stat for me.
You want it?
What?
Oh no.
6.
You fill up the entire flask for sure. You have the flask of the Dwarven Scout. But the other 1/4 that couldn't fit in it is on your hand or on the floor or all over the flask.
Oops.
So he just kept pouring and just didn't stop.
And you're oh god, and then
yeah.
damn.
No, I've done that plenty of
Yeah,
times.
I've been there too. So yeah, but you have a flask of the Dwarven Scout that she gave for free.
I need to clean this.
So what do you guys do?
So after Ariell stuff, and then after West offering the ale, she's looking at the ale, looking at West, and she's just walking out the establishment. Go for it.
Yeah, well, like, hey West, you're a strong boy. Can you carry that one other dwarf
What?
to the cart? I don't think we should be here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't think we should be.
I mean,
I think we
yeah,
have.
I don't want to say that.
I think we've extended our welcome here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll throw Orcdeath in the cart.
As,
I mean,
he's not light, but with enough assistance and a couple of hefty pushes.
Brom.
Yeah, either Wesley can carry it on the shoulder, or he can just lay on top of Brom. And as you guys are.
yeah, I'll transfer him from the table to Braum.
Okay, alright. You see that he kind of reaches over, grabs his flask, his mug of ale, and kind of like uses it as a pillow as you guys are heading out slightly. So all of you are leaving the establishment. The sea devil's at the current moment. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to
Yeah.
I guess the cart and park it outside, kinda outside of the Sea Devil, so that
Okay.
Ariell can see that.
Okay. It might be a bit before Ariell comes back. Is there anything specific that you guys wanted to do, or just sit there and stew in your thoughts?
Not really.
If,
Me still in my
if we go
thoughts.
outside, sorry. Continue what you were saying, Jeremiah.
No, that's what I was saying. I was just gonna stay there, sit on my thought about the events of the dragon. It's like, really, we don't really wanted to kill it, but things had happened that we didn't have a choice. We were just basically forced.
Oria's gonna just, well, when she would have walked out, she would have gone to the cart and she would have, like, I guess given the click. Because I feel so freaking bad because I keep forgetting about him. Who? Roivos. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, he's.
I'm assuming he would have been at the cart.
Yeah, I assume pets tend to stay where the other pets are. So yeah,
Yes.
Oh
So,
yeah, he's there.
he's there.
Forgot about him.
so she would have just gone, I guess, kind of like silent conversation with him. And she's just watching the entrance to the Dwarven city.
Mm-hmm.
And she is just waiting.
Okay. Wes, is there anything specific that you want to do?
Just drink my house.
Okay. Laz,
I don't want to think.
anything specific that you want to do before Ariell gets back?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna have Laz play her music, but I feel like she would bring it out and just be like, no.
Okay.
Not right.
As Ariell comes back with a hefty chest being dragged at the moment by two other dwarves in full plate armor, and you see that there's two hammers on each of one of their backs. Ariell says, "Well, here's our reward. He wasn't lying when he said there was a hoard of gems." As you guys open it and you see inside.
Rognarv is changing.
My sword's like vibrating. I'm like,
Technically,
Hold on.
yeah, she would have alerted you like, something very delicious is on its way, and I cannot wait.
Honey, I need you to look over there, because...
Like, hey, look right in that direction. Keep eye. So, there is when he opens it, the chest kind of opens into two sections. One is just like a top layer with coins glittered all over it, and like the letter said, it is 3,200 gold. And then inside, you see about yay big in size, 78 jasper dark blue gems.
what? 78 of them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need like 12 of those.
Each one
It's gonna be
as
since Ariel's not here, it's gonna be distributed equally.
Yes, we should definitely maybe give me a little higher cut.
as Laz, your coin, your sword, just whispers to you, ooh. On an average market, I'd say, and only you can hear her voice, as you clearly see like the silhouette of some woman just kind of like grabbing a gem, and the gem still stays there, but like the silhouette of the gem looks.
Okay.
She'll say, "I think this would probably be close to about 250 on the market, maybe more, depending if you sell it to an idiot."
So it is
Kinda-
that. So that
I just kind of like smile.
just
Don't say
kinda-
anything. I'm just like.
We can do the after money but each gem for the purposes of our game and how I like to continue going forward, just so it's not always the same gold pieces all the time. Each gem is worth 250 gold, so there's 78 of those in here.
Holy moly.
Good
Lordy.
Quite a bit of work. So, as Ariell says, I think this should be sufficient for your components for your spells.
Oh my
It's a
god!
total of everything.
That is a lot of money if we sell those gems. Ooh.
And these are Jasper gems, so unless the spell component requires a Jasper gem, it is clearly just for trade or selling, equivalent for gold. Ariell will look at you guys. So the way I see it, the dwarves kind of say something, he's like, thank you. We can go back to Krovasa to help West and this at the same time. And he kind of like, also like pulls out the letter from Mumrock. Or we can go speak to this lady of this Geico.
Geico. For some insurance.
Yeah. Geico? It's something like that.
I in my head it's Geico, I think.
Geico. It's I can pronounce it in a minute, but I need to basically the letters. But Ariell, it's Geico is how it's pronounced. Geico. 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 Or we can go speak to her and see what this was all about. If Mumrock went there and she had information about his parents.
I'll just look at Laz like, you had beef with that lady, right?
Just a suggestion.
Well, I mean, she's just technically doing her job. I can respect the hustle. It's the bastard that went to her. I mean, she gotta eat too, let's be honest.
I mean,
So, Elysian
It's
Vagabonds,
just kind of ignoring everything.
that's fine.
what do you guys want to do?
I think somebody's
Well,
even trade.
Rognarv wants shinies, and he doesn't want to put it on the party fund. Like, just like.
I second that.
I mean,
Like,
You guys can divide it evenly amongst yourselves
Yeah,
if you
I-
like.
Like, I'm sorry, Ronny. Mumrock left, so I didn't count Mumrock here.
That's fine, he left.
I mean, it's
how
The
far
current-
is
the-
that continent that was mentioned?
I don't know. You guys could look it up.
Absalom, right?
There's whatever. Look at the map. We see that? No, I said note. Note. It's the notes. The letter.
So for us, if Jeremiah, yeah,
Yes,
okay. You guys are. You guys are
I'm gonna
here,
Google it.
right? Absalom is all the way down here.
Or Ariston.
Edison is north. Edison is this country here. Barasia, so Krovasa is right there. No, that's kind of manga. Krovasa will be around here. There we go.
Yeah, it's like it's in that tiny little spot,
Yeah.
like always.
So Absalom, where technically, I don't know if the audience can see. Carval's mom is being held by the fire gym. And, I know, right?
Awkward.
Mumrock is moving up north. The swamp, the Spire Mountains are here. So there's other
Makes me so nervous.
locations that I can mention, but Fangwood Forest is here. Where you guys want to go. And unless you guys, well, you do have a map technically. It has been mentioned several times.
Yes.
T and apparently now L and Jamal are going to visit their dying friend in Promise.
And that's where the one person is.
That's where I gotta go.
So,
Oh, God.
amongst
Well-
the party, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I mean, we could always just head to Krovasa anyway, just so that we could check in with the guild and Chaddington and just kind of get our bearings to figure out where to go from there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good place
I
to
mean,
just...
I know you did mention wanting to go to that island because that was where
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wes could gain some information because that was a person there that...
I could also technically gain information at Absalom if I wanted to.
True.
What about Oria's family? Don't we need to send them home?
You guys want, you can tilt the webcam towards you so you guys can see it.
Alright.
It is up to the party as my hip hits the microphone.
Well, at least they don't lie.
So, yeah, as party members, and unfortunately the ones that are here, the other ones can cast their votes online, but what do you want to do, guys? They're, again, just to mention all options. Absalom, where apparently it's center world and a lot of knowledge is held there, and the story arc with Carabal's mother. Apparently there is a dying friend between most of the external NPCs that you guys have gotten to know and have trusted you and aided you. They're going to meet somebody there. So Fox, Jamal, and T are all headed in that direction at different points in time. Fangwood, where the kids are. There is Krovasa, right over here. Further up north in the swamp area is where Mumrock went to go see the Lady of Strings. Now he's heading over here. So, it's the world is your oyster. Where do you guys want to go?
Now, where is Absalom located on the map?
very,
Just out of
very,
curiosity.
very
Okay.
south.
Okay.
Like the
Yeah.
very
Very
south.
south.
Literally, yeah.
So now, my question is there, like, from where the sea is to the left, is there a way to take a river through, like, to get to there? Or do you, like, I'm just saying for, like, a ship to travel from there up into Absalom. Is that possible or no?
There is a large ocean, the Arcanic Ocean, what is it called? Arcandinian Ocean, that goes into the actual inner sea, that goes into Absalom. From this part of the hemisphere of the Earth.
Okay.
So, like, if that's what you wanted to go, technically a boat can reach all that location.
Okay.
Corvus is a place that has boats.
Exactly, we could go to Krovasa. This is just me talking, not as
Sure.
Oria. I'm just saying overall, if everybody wants to go to, we can get a boat and we can get a ship in Krovasa, sail out to that island, and then go to Absalom that way, if that's what people want to do.
Like me, I think going to Krovasa is a good way to, like, basically get the party rested, and basically what Vic said about getting everybody there and then think about what's the next plan. Check up on the whatever's in there, and then let's go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And going to
I agree.
Absalom is where we could possibly save Cal's mother, and then also knowledge.
There, one of the
Knowledge.
best libraries in the world is in Absalom.
Okay, because West is looking for more knowledge, correct? I'm just trying to get everybody's
Yeah.
stories for their
Yeah.
characters correct with what we're doing. Because I kind of jumped in like in the middle of everybody's like stuff, so I'm just like, okay, this person's doing this and this person's doing that. Okay, yeah.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Right. If that is the case, first of all, I think Jeremiah, you accumulated the wealth to be divided by our party members.
Yes.
Unfortunately, everyone except for Ronny's new character.
Like, unfortunately, Ronny's new character is not here, but
yeah,
but Coleton,
RP wise,
yeah, Coleton, me, Ariell, Rog, West, Laz, Orcdeath, and Oria. This is what I have. 533 gold and 13 gems each. But
how much gold?
533 and 13 gems. That's worth 250 gold each. It's a Jasper Dark Blue gem, if you want to be specific.
Which you really need to mark those information down. So you don't say, oh look, I have a gem worth 250 gold for a spell component. This is specifically not spell component worthy gems.
And also, there is 1 gold that's sitting.
You guys can divide it between coppers.
There is...
Is there 1 leftover gold?
There's 2 leftover gold.
How you guys, how many party members are you?
6.
Cool.
Because it's 3,000. Because I divided by 6 and there it's 533.3333333.
So there's 2 gold that is left over.
Let's just
ballpark
2 gold left. That's
I mean, yeah.
Party fun.
You guys can put
gold in the
2
party
gold to the party fund. Okay.
Unless somebody wants to be sneaky and grab that.
I'd say for
I'll control myself today.
generalness, how I like to conduct the tables are, if it's like reward gold, it should pretty heavily DM. It's divided evenly between you guys.
Yeah.
Other exploratory gold, like finding the 100 gold in the cave, stuff like that. Yeah, steal away as you will. But yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
if we're still in the mountain, is there a jeweler that I could sell that?
If you want to, like, yeah, you can just sell all your gems if you want. To convert them into gold pieces, if that's what you want to do.
I want to sell some of them, not all of them.
Okay.
Because I want to decorate my axe.
Okay, sure.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. And we can do those little mundane details
after
afterwards. So, you guys are heading on your way to Krovasa then, right?
Yes.
It is about a month's journey, and again, we'll do what the gold in a bit for like rations, etc. That you guys have to do. With the expeditious travel now from west, instead of taking you about a month, it'll take you about 15 days. A little bit lessen if you guys continue pushing on. So, Ash.
The entire time, I'm telling Rognarv about Krovasa as a city, and I'm telling him about Shaddington, and I'm going to tell him about all the crazy shit we did there.
This Shaddington sounds like that one asshole. The paladin of one guy.
Harones.
Oh,
No, but that guy.
FYI, that reminds me, during this entire bit, when we were outside and stuff like that, and Oria was watching the gate, did that group of adventurers at all walk into the...
No, not yet.
Okay. Oh,
Gonna miss them.
Sorry we missed you.
So.
Also?
Yes.
No, just to tell him about the shark guy.
Yeah, one of them is broken.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
What's that?
I was just going to tell Rognarv about the shark guy that we knew, and then I'm done.
What?
Tin.
Yeah. Yeah, Tin.
Wes is telling you about the shark guy.
The shark guy. I thought you said short guy.
So, we can say that for the next 13 days or so, all the adventurers of the Elysian Vagabonds, before they were known as the Elysian Vagabonds, their escapade with the hags, meeting Tin, going into the Aboleth's lair, finding the skeletal storm giants, the old city of storm giants, meeting other members from Ravnica, Chattington's tale and rise to city council within Krovasa. Samantha doing the 100% heavy lifting. As you guys approach the city, it is booming with people. You guys see a large school kind of towering over even the temple that Ariell has placed for Paylor. You see a lot of kids playing around with purple masks and purple capes, shooting these very crudely toyed bows.
Does it look like a certain way? Does it look like a certain way?
As you see guards, once they notice you and like they do a double take, you see a lot of them start whispering to each other, and a city guard eventually comes to you. Oh, it's been such a long time. Should I announce Chattington that you're here? Is there anything that we can do for you? Like with wide eyes, as though like they're meeting a celebrity, kind of nervous at the voice.
Yeah, you can just let them know. I think we're gonna head in that direction.
Okay, well, I'll send someone. It's okay, all right, bye. And he kind of runs off and
What's up with that guy?
That's kind of like she's like, finally some appreciation.
We're kind of famous here. It's weird.
As you guys keep moving throughout, and as soon as some people start noticing Laz, your old fan group starts chanting your name.
Thank you.
When
that happens and you're doing that, I was like, hey, you wanna get up on bro?
No.
Yes.
Still have the issue with the. Oh my god.
The pseudo dragons?
Does Krovasa still have the issue with the pseudo dragons?
Technically, yes, they still have a pseudo dragon issue. Yeah.
I can just imagine Oria just like patting Roybos on the head. You're in charge.
Yes. You see that every now and then, he kind of turns his head. And then, like a couple of minutes later, you see like a swarm of pseudo dragons just fly off. It's a little bit more under control, and you see that trade has, and the economic stability of the town has definitely fixed a lot of situations here now that they don't have the hag pretending to be the queen ruling the city. As you guys start driving up to the estate, you good?
I'm just, because of specifically Coleton / Ariell saying that he had one, like an orphanage.
Yeah.
built.
There's one. There's a large.
I want to look at that orphanage.
It's
just Jeremiah, not really Rognarv.
It's a.
We'll get around to it.
Is there certain like do they know about this orphanage?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
That was
we
a
know
large school that you guys saw.
Okay, what does it say?
Huh? And the children that keep playing Carabao.
Yes, they're playing that
on the
they play
streets.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a school. The children playing with the boys. Okay. I'm sorry,
No, you're good. You're fine. You're fine.
because Rognarv doesn't really know this.
You're fine. You're in character. I understand.
Hey, I got another question.
Yes, please.
As we're walking in through the town, is that fucking tower still falling?
Technically, it will perpetually be falling.
Okay. I feel like every time you always ask about that tower. Look, let it go. Just let it go.
Just like the
As
song
long as
says.
that thing is there,
He's
or
not
it's
there.
gonna be on edge.
He's not there.
We gotta go to Chattington's right away.
We're heading to Chattington.
I know.
As Oria is just like overly concerned about this city and mentioning things in the aftermaths. But as you guys are approaching the higher districts and start seeing mansion after mansion after manor slowly become bigger and bigger, and then head to the gates where Chattington's estate are, as these two Dobermen kind of like get up and you see their little tails kind of like wagging as their guards are trying to like sit. Oh god, no! You even see one of them is like, no, please, no, and then the other one just kind of like nudges at him to like get in post, and they both get in post, and then they say command word, and both of the dogs just reluctantly kind of like sit down, but their butts kind of keep getting off the ground. They want to go play because Wes has not helped their training at all, and just plays with them.
I am literally like I see the dogs, and I'm like running forward, and I'm just gonna get down on one knee, just like yes.
And then the dogs just march over like, open the gates, and I need all 4 of you to roll me perception.
Oh boy! Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, that's the same roll. 21.
Holy crap!
21. Okay. Yeah.
22.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Les. What do we get?
18.
Okay. Yeah. West.
13.
13. There's a dog licking your face right now.
I'm loving every second of it.
And like from the corner of your eye, you do see it, but at the same time, there's a dog licking your face, and that's a little bit more
And the
permanent.
dog, this dog is amazing. I love this dog. Oh my god!
As you do see a man running, as you hear his kind of like cleat sounds of the heels of their shoe hitting against the cobblestone, and a man in these gold and red robes with a beautiful double button vest on, just running forward as the hair is blowing in the wind, kind of messing up his do, and you see almost, if you could, anime tears just start flowing behind him. As he's just running towards you guys.
Oh no.
My friends!
Yes!
Yes!
This guy's
And
back.
you see very, very slowly as a woman kind of just walking behind, like, it's terribly disappointed, kind of just like looking. And then you see that she starts talking to one of the assistants inside, and there's a lot of movement coming inside. And then she slowly starts walking, but with a very dignified and calm approach, unlike
the actual person in the face of...
And technically,
Krovasa. I
guess Wes would be forward, so you feel another just dog
Another
or
one
something.
licking.
No. And you see Chaddington grab your face, kind of like, my boy, why haven't you written? You haven't written anything. I thought you were dead. How are you?
Ariell sent a letter. I don't know if you got it yet.
I haven't gotten anything.
Oh, wow. Hi, we're alive. Sort of.
What brings you to my estate? I'm not crying, you're crying.
So this is the guy.
Yeah, this is Chaddington. He's so cool. He has griffins.
Well, he doesn't look like as obnoxious as that one guy.
Chaddington's like way cooler.
Way cooler.
I'm gonna like get up and I'm gonna throw my arm around his shoulder.
He kind of gets up. Oh, this guy. Oh, where's Madam Oria and Master Ariell and the other ones?
The other ones.
Yeah. As he kind of goes up. Hello. I have recognized your faces, but not you. You're new. How do you do?
I do a curtsy. I'm like, I am fine.
Performing and filling the hearts of the young men, I suppose.
Oh, naturally.
As you guys kind of start going into the manor and or mansion, technically, since a mansion is bigger than a manor, and you see that they're already like cooking food and start like preparing things. And Samantha meets you halfway. She kind of does a gracious bow. You guys look like you've seen a lot of fighting, and you guys, do you want more? Let's round them up some clothes and fresh, good cooked food, some wine, maybe tea, if you guys prefer.
Do you have a forge in this big house?
She'll say, no, we don't. Do you need a forge?
Not really. I just need to clean my armor.
We can clean your armor for you if you like.
I want to clean my armor.
Sure. There's a
a
large backyard. We can give you oils and soaps and rags as you need.
I'm new here. My name is Rognarv.
Yeah, this is Rognarv. He's new.
Samantha, hello. And she kind of looks at Brom.
Brom. We're
This
like
is my wonderful girl, Brom.
Brom.
Nice to meet you, Brom.
I'm like patting Brom to him like Brom.
She looks like his Brahm's like claws. I'll be fine. I'll clean it.
He won't hurt you if you don't hurt me. Or she won't hurt you, sorry.
Yeah. She kind of looks at you. Is that a challenge? Let's go. And as Chattington chats your ear off of what he's been doing, and like every other time she's like, honey, that was technically not the accord that we did. We signed the other one, promising the equality towards the neighboring forest, not the miners.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, of course. How could I be so foolish?
I
I imagine
introduce
as
myself
chatting.
to Chattington.
Yeah.
Look on the front entrance or something.
I imagine as Chattington's talking, Oria's just gonna walk up and put a hand on his shoulder.
Oh, hi.
It's like, it's nice to see you. It really is. I have a question.
No.
Oh, of course. What?
Oria, don't.
Yes.
Do you have a fish tank in here?
I have a large aquarium in, I think, the 4th floor towards the east corridor.
Do you happen to do meetings in there?
Yes.
Thank you. And she's gonna head straight up there.
Oh no.
Wonderful.
no.
And he kind of leads over to you guys, and then kind of like towards, like, as if he's known you his entire life. He kind of like passes, like, Madam Oria, always doing some good, isn't
I'm
she?
gonna go to.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
Druid
guess
stuff.
I'm gonna head to the backyard and kind of let them know about it.
He's like, oh, of course, just make yourself at home, I suppose. Yes, please do.
Before I actually go to the backyard, I'm gonna look at Chattington like, I think you're in trouble.
He looks towards west and leans really heavy towards west, but looking like, so like you can hear him, but looking directly at you, Les. What did I do?
I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I don't know anymore.
Okay, same boat then.
You
All
want
right,
to
good.
tell me more about the papers? I want to hear more about these papers you're signing.
Oh yes, of course. Well, we have the accords with the forest area. And we're just delivering lumber to the gnomish cities nearby. And well, as you know, the war funding, there's still some mercenaries out there who are been promised by the hag that used to be in position to get paid for, being non-gentlemen. And so we've stopped that. We've ended a corrupt priest up in the south. We've successfully funded 2 more schools of Carabao and for the orphanage at other cities up north. And also, we found a ship.
You found a ship.
You found your friend's ship, who I clearly thought was actually under our estate. But
I mean, technically, it's look. There's the weird pirate code's weird. I don't want to get into it.
I'm not denouncing that. All I'm saying is that he didn't have to rough up my friends and my gods.
This is a big turtle fucker, right?
Yes.
Okay, I figured.
But we did find his ship wrecked.
Where?
Off into the steaming sea. We retrieved it and we repaired it back to its full glory, and we found the note. And he kind of goes over to like a chest in the foyer, and you see that he has like a key like on him at like almost looks like he's never like not had it in his coat, like he's ready. Kind of pulls out a very thin silver, like really delicate key. Kind of opens up this small, like it looks like you can break it if you really want to with your hands, but for formality, he locked it in a little dinky chest. It kind of opens and hands you a letter. Request.
All right, I will open that letter to read.
Oh, so it says, and I quote, if you're reading this, fuck off.
So good.
So I didn't really know what to do with it. We repaired the ship, but I will say that some of the contractors here are becoming quite squeamish, as I have not had the crew fix the ship that lasted more than about 3 days on board, and they all said that they couldn't quite handle the job, and they left. I mean, I've been on it, and like, everything seems fine to me.
It's a ship.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's like they always seem to be spooked when they finish the job and say they can no longer be part of the contract and leave quite immediately, even though we paid them pretty good.
I'm pretty sure.
He shit on the ship.
I'm pretty sure you pay him pretty good.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to the note that I'm reading? Like, is there anything else to it, or is it just saying?
It's literally.
if you read this-
It's a parchment written in a really like Roman perception or insight, since you try to determine this.
the same number anyway.
Okay.
What?
It's a 5.
No, it's a note that just says if you're reading this, fuck off.
Alright. I'll probably hand this to Ariell or Oria and let them know.
Oria's not there.
Yeah.
I'll hand this to either
Ariell
or
looks
Oria
at
when
it.
I get the chance. Or
That's
Rognarv!
lovely.
I am outside in the.
He's
backyard.
cleaning.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Laz!
Laz is there.
I am.
Oh, yeah? What? Huh?
If you want to tilt the webcam so you can see him.
Whenever West hands me the letter, like,
Yeah.
Laz knows how to swindle people. She's been around every kind of person. Her complete demeanor changes. She's like, oh, thank you, West. Thank you for the letter. And, like, puts it in her pocket. Like, she's, like, sitting, like, totally different demeanor.
She looks like she's part of this world now.
Like, I'm such a doll.
You gonna read it?
Like, no, none of my business. Trivial matters.
Then why the fuck did I hand it to you?
You handed it to me. I think you want me to have it.
I'm gonna reach into my pocket and I'm gonna hand her 20 gold.
Here's your letter back.
All right. You have an additional
Lock
20
that
gold.
letter, and I'm gonna give it to Ariell when I get the chance.
Oria,
That's so good.
you have reached the
Minus
meeting
20
room.
gold.
Do what?
You have reached the meeting room.
Okay.
As you approach, you see a large table in a conference room style with different trays and uncorked bottles of wine. You do see a large fish tank. Roll me perception, though.
Bitch! Every time!
What did you get?
That's a nat 20.
All right, good,
Plus
good.
4, so 24.
Good. So when you notice the fish tank isn't similar nor the same marina, the fish that are inside, they're not the same as the ones that you saw within the Tower of Exodus. The table was rounded versus this one is squared. It is a meeting room and it's similar, like decorated to mimic the one that you saw, but it's not the same room. It is not the same tank.
Oh, that's weird.
And you notice
Yes,
that with your 24, this is Chattington's estate, not the castle.
Oh.
Just for the sake of it, she is going to cast Detect Magic in the room.
Sure, yeah. As you do cast Detect Magic, you do sense a hint of magic pretty low underneath the table. And the magic would be enchantment. And you see that underneath the table at the head, where there's a large chair that is has the Chattington logo on it. So to the side of that, underneath, there is a wand.
Is it what?
There is a wand.
What?
So like where Chaddington is sitting, so like if I'm sitting here, this is like Chaddington's seat. This seat next to that chair, on the bottom where the table is, has like a wand that you can quickly grab, and it's an enchantment-based wand.
Okay. She'll leave it.
Okay.
Okay.
That is the only magic. Oh, so that's just the only magical thing that you sense in that room.
Okay, she'll head back downstairs and see if she can find him again.
Yeah, it'll be easy enough. Him and Wes would probably be chit-chatting about very mundane things, but exaggerating them to be extravagant in nature.
Yeah, she'll then ask just, okay, what about in the castle itself? Is there a fish tank?
Oh yes, there's a meeting room, quite similar to how we decorated our meeting room. Within the old chambers of where the queen used to be, and bless their soul, the king that also passed.
I'd like to go there if we could ever get a chance.
I can arrange something after brunch if you would like.
You might want to put a pin in that because I just got some interesting news and I'm going to hand you the letter. Please don't make me pay to get this letter back.
Why would I do that? And then she looks at it.
And it says...
Isn't it all signed by Fox?
It's not signed, but you can... they can tell you the story of how they found the ship, and it was... Fox definitely beat up some of his guards to get his ship back. And they found it... a torn ship off to the steaming sea, and they came back, repaired it because it's the Sea Devil's ship is not something that's hard to find. It's a pretty massive galleon. But if you're trying to decipher anything from the notes, I would need you to either roll me a perception or an insight. Your call.
Yeah, as you're looking at it, I would literally explain all that to you.
Perception. Well, perception or insight, it's still +4.
Okay, well, I need you to choose one from me because they both will give you different answers.
You know what? I'm gonna do insight.
Okay.
So, 23.
23. As you're looking at it, the penmanship is really rough. Fox is a big guy, so that might rewrite. But but you're not sensing that. You're sensing more of maybe he had weak hands, and he was overcompensating by stroking it harder to make it more eligible. They never mentioned that they found Fox. And knowing the brief encounters you had with him, this might have been a letter that was his goodbye.
A letter that was what?
His goodbye.
Yeesh. Oria's gonna kind of sadly explain that to the party or whoever wants to listen.
Why would he be saying goodbye?
Beats me.
Fuck! I need to talk to him.
I know.
Was kidding. I'm just gonna look at Chaddington. Where is the ship? It's in the docks, yes?
Yes, we have it parked in my area of the docks and been watched carefully, even though nobody really wants to go near it. But yes.
Cool. I'm gonna spend the night there.
Great, I'll bring wine if you'd like. Alright, great, that's a brace. Sorry, I was told. Yes, pace yourself, don't just invite yourself over.
As he looks up and looks at Samantha, she's I know what you're doing expression on her face, and then Chaddington's just kind of leaning over, tilting his head towards West.
Unless invited.
Oh my god. This guy.
Okay, I'll fuck off now.
Gross
And she kind of. They're like, oh, I understand. And he kind of like walks over, and Samantha's like, what did I tell you? Like, I'm sorry. She's like, stop doing that shit. Kind of like slapping him on the ass. You're supposed to be dignified. She's like, I'm sorry.
Wait, what was that? That's okay.
As Samantha apologizes. There'll be food in the lower dining hall if you guys would ever want some. It seems that whatever this is very important and personal, so I'll leave you guys alone. If there's anything you need, there's always someone hearing, so you just ask and they'll bring it to you. But I'll be outside. I think it's time for us to feed our pets. So I'll leave you to
Thank you, Samantha.
As you'll see them in the large windows that are currently being tied, so the sunlight can come in. As she's definitely feeding these griffins, and they're a lot healthier than last time.
Is that the backyard?
Yeah, the backyard.
So like
You see her feeding griffins, and like these guys look mean, but she's handling them like they were just dogs. But these griffins look like they can tear someone apart. So,
Respect.
as Rognarv is outside cleaning Brum, Oria, Wes, Ariell, Orcdeath will probably just be to himself, kind of complaining about the wine, that it's just too sweet or not to his liking. Unless you guys all being there in the foyer. As you do see that no one's literally next to you, but you, with y'all's passive perception, you'll be able to see that there is a gentleman in a nice like uniform black suit who has like a towel draped around him, who's like off to the side, and you can like kind of see his shoes. That he's not necessarily like eavesdropping, but he is there just in case you need anything, and he's minding his own business. So with that, what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna grab some food to eat. I'm gonna grab a bottle of wine.
What time is it?
And
Like
I have all intentions of going to the docks to sleep on the ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna like I wanted to ask somebody, or maybe ask one of the party members, whoever's there, if they know of any Tinkerers Guild in the city.
The city will not have Tinkerers Guild. They have a Fisherman's Guild. They have a Lumber Guild. And the only thing that would have been close would have been Fox. They have a Great Arcanic School. But they don't have a Tinkerers Guild here. Their main thing is trading and selling the fish and the lumber nearby.
I guess I'll go out.
Okay.
It's like,
So
I guess I'll be back here. Is everybody
Okay.
gonna be here?
Did you just come inside? Like from being
I
outside?
don't know if I don't know if I'll be welcome here because
uh,
I'm not really part of the Elysian Vagabonds.
you do see that Krovasa is very as you've been traveling with Oria always gets like a second glance. Like people are just like looking at her as though she's not really supposed to be here. Nobody batted an eye towards Oria. And you're not thinking maybe just because she's an Elysian Vagabond?
To the mistake.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking.
Okay. Sure. They're treating you with respect, and they're treating you as an honored guest here. But Krovasa is very racially diverse. It's as a major port city and trade city, it has a lot of different races. So you probably the most in here would be human and halfling, followed by almost an equal amount of any other race that you can imagine. As long as they're quote unquote part of the civil races. The Genasi is a little weird. You're the only Genasi here, but
Figured.
you're pretty much the only Genasi anywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean they're like nomadic people that just do their own thing. Like I wouldn't expect to even see one ever again.
Yeah.
They don't like each other.
Or a forge. Blacksmith.
You'll find some blacksmith, but there's not a blacksmith guild. But you can find some blacksmiths for sure. there something specifically that you would like to do before you re-meet with everybody else?
It's really, I was gonna ask if, I guess I'll go ask Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
It's like about a forge, because I know she was asking, well, like, do you need a forge or something like that? You can ask her about.
I can send you to who we would go and who we would find trustworthy, fair pricing, dedicated, hardworking man.
I'm not really trying to buy or sell anything, but I kind of want to use it for something.
Oh, Dickie, you can rent a forge if you would like.
Yes.
I don't remember what the prices are, but I think it's like maybe 5 silver a day to use the equipment, and depending on what you need. But yeah, I can lead you into the direction. And Jeremiah, if you like, we'll calculate that in a minute, and you can use a forge too. Yeah. What is the end result that you want? You want to encrust the?
I'm putting my gems on my shield.
You want to put gems on your shield?
Yes.
To mimic Orcdeath's axe, or just because that's something you want to do?
It's not to mimic any axe, because I want to design my shield.
Okay, fair. Just thought
because Rognarv, I got some gems. I want some shinies and everything.
Okay, we'll definitely we'll be able to do that. I will say that it'll take maybe like 2 days because you're borrowing equipment versus your
like
equipment.
I have smithing tools and stuff like that. Like I have
okay.
a walking.
Yeah, you do. You just need a forge. Then I'll say about a day. Probably by nightfall you'll be done with it. And
it's like I just want to use like the heating and stuff like that.
Yeah. I would say by nightfall you should be done with it.
Yeah, okay.
Other than him using that, you guys want to head to the ship with a brand
West
new.
has head to the ship. If anyone wants to follow, they're allowed. They can.
If
He's not waiting for anyone.
Yeah, you'll see that Orcdeath and Ariell have their own business to attend to in the city, and they won't meet you there as though Orcdeath really water is not his thing. He's definitely gonna make that known that he's not really happy on water, so he's gonna stay in land. Every time you guys cross over a part of the section, since this is a not a river city, but this is like a coastal city that Krovasa is split into Old Krovasa and New Krovasa. Mm-hmm. So there's literally a bridge over sea to go into the older parts. He's definitely going to stay into the richer more areas and go to a tavern by himself, and that's where he feels comfortable. Ariel is going to attend to the church and the school, so that's what he would be doing.
Like if West kind of told everybody about his plan on the ship, then
I would be secretive about it. I would just be like, I'm gonna go spend the night on the Sea Devil.
Like Rognarv would be more comfortable going to that ship with West than going back to the estate, because he's not. It's not that he's not comfortable in the mansion. It's just he's a new person, so he's not comfortable using their facilities and stuff like that.
I understand that.
He's just being a nice guy.
I understand. So
Oria would explain, to Laz probably, about how she is a little bit concerned with, I guess, the meeting/war room that they have in the castle in Krovasa.
Mm-hmm. We can definitely attend to that if that's something that you would like to do. Just wanted to get a more, clear time frame. Do you want to do that like now, as Wes is going to do his own thing? Do you want to do it as a group?
I would prefer to do it as a group, because the last time Oria went off on her own in Krovasa, that was not a great thing that happened.
Okay. Ariel's definitely doing his thing. Orcdeath is doing his thing. Rognarv is doing his thing. So it's technically just to you two ladies and West. So, what do you guys want to do?
How long is it until nightfall?
It's getting after lunch brunch. It's getting closer to like 1, so you got a couple hours beforehand. So you got a good squeeze amount of room before you nightfall approaches.
Yeah, when I'm done with my forging and stuff, I was gonna go to the ship immediately.
Okay.
But I will.
But you can get information on where to go.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find.
Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say, Laz isn't too keen about spending the night on the ship, but she will, because like friendship and whatnot. But until then, until nightfall, she will be performing in the streets for anyone who wants to hear.
Roll me a performance check.
Yes.
She's got some new material.
Right, plus I got 21.
21.
Nice.
And a beautiful performance after another, getting a crowd of close to maybe 16 to 20 per song.
Wow.
First song.
Yeah.
Different people or
People keep coming and going, but like you've never had a smaller crowd other than 16 for like the entire couple of hour or so that you've been performing.
Okay.
And I'd say that with that, I'll give 7, 8, about let's call it an even 18 silver that you've collected.
Nice.
As just people keep bringing in, and that's a mixture of like
copper.
copper and so on. But at the end of the day, it would be equivalent to 18 silver.
Cool.
Which is a pretty good day.
Yeah.
And your fan group comes back, and you even get like a free drink here and there, and it's celebrating close to your old skills and definitely restricting that old bardic.
Yeah, feels good. I needed that. Feels good.
Okay, so Oria and Wes, as the group is splitting, is there anything specific that you guys want to do?
Wes, it doesn't matter for Wes what time of the day it is. He's literally heading to that ship.
Okay,
Yeah.
He will
so
stand on it all day if he has to.
okay, so Wes, you head to the ship. Oria, do you follow or do you do your own thing?
She'll follow, because again,
I'll follow them first there so I know where it is basically, and then I'll head out.
I'd say as you go to the docks and there's people working, the heavy smell of fish definitely comes through as there's different cranes starting to move pieces of cargo in. There's guys kicking boxes by accident and spilling their miniatures. It's pretty fairly busy, and you definitely see Chaddington's section as it's held off. The only indication that clues you is a red and gold rope that holds nothing but like an inch away to about 3 ships, and then the galleon in the back. As the seagulls are chirping, and there's definitely a good 3 pseudo dragons kind of fighting off like a horde of seagulls to get some of the fish that's there, or like spilled food or bread that's being thrown around. Nobody really checks you guys as you approach, nor do they bother you. And as soon as I start noticing you're getting towards the ship, it's almost like they're like, specifically the Sea Devils, it's almost as if they're just leaving you alone and do not want to interact with you.
yeah, that's fine.
As you guys get onto the ship, it's a large 3-floored vessel. It looks fairly clean. If Chaddington was speaking of how damaged this ship was, you see no traces of that. It has been mended and fixed very well. The only indication might be Oria would notice how like this part of the ship has new wood, but it's been really closely blended and painted to look like the other ship. The Sea Devils in crest has not been removed. Chaddington paid a good coin to make this ship look as authentic to what it used to look like before it was wrecked. And upon you guys being on the ship, other than it being completely empty, deserted, and clean, it seems pretty mundane.
Wes kind of wants to look around and see, even though it's been re-renovated and like cleaned out, he'll see if maybe there's like any clues left behind by the box.
Sure, roll a perception.
Cool.
Or technically this would be an investigation. Roll an investigation.
Investigation. That's not bad. 17.
Okay. I'll say it take you about an hour or so to look through the entire ship.
Okay.
17. As you do so, and you're looking throughout, you see that in the captain's quarters, there is a wine shelf that looks like it has a couple of bottles that were that are pretty new. And for some reason that takes her eye. And it'll be a row of 3 different rows by 4 bottles. And one of the bottles looks completely empty. So as you grab that one, you see that it has kind of a pull. And kind of when you try to just add a little bit of frustration, kind of pull it upward, you see that you hear, and then the wine rack kind of pulls forward an inch.
Ooh. Secret tunnel.
See, this one's a secret tunnel. No, this one's a secret tunnel.
Alright. So I guess I'll get it open a bit more.
It's a pretty hefty and very rudimentary, but it functions for what it is to just hold the pressure of what it needs to. And Oria, you're assuming you're there, so you can also see the situation happening. And as you look behind, you see that there is a bottle with a message inside. Not unlike Fox to be anything but what's the correct word? A pirate through and through. Even pirating other people's way of messaging.
Alright, I'm gonna open it up and get the message out.
As you kind of uncork it and look up and roll up the scroll, it is a message by an individual named Promise.
Named who?
Promise.
Promise, okay.
The person's name is Promise.
Okay.
And it says, "Old friend, these last 100 years, it's almost up. I have made no move, and I will continue to make no move for peace. We'll see what the next side decides." And then, you don't have to activate your sight to be able to read the languages, right?
No, if it's in common, I don't think I have to since I've learned how to read.
Okay.
But it allows me to read all writing.
Okay. There are writings underneath that are in a different language, a different complete alphabet too. So I don't know if you have to activate it, or is it something that you just see like, okay, I understand that that's a different alphabet. And
I think it's just a thing that happens. I don't have to.
So
I don't have to activate it.
You would understand that the bottom is completely written in Draconic, and it's even to you. It kind of take a second to read it, as though even though you are able to understand with the runic magic that you have, but it's you get the inclination this is like old school Draconic. This is an older version of it. And it says on there, "I guess I am the 3rd great worm to pass."
Ooh. Yeah, I'll probably be reading that letter out to Oria.
So
I might mispronounce some of the words, but the spirit's there.
you get the information that, in short, whoever this promised individual is, apparently he's done nothing for the past 100 years to hold his end of peace, and that after this, it's the other side's turn to make a move. And then in Draconic, at the bottom it says that he begrudgingly, but I guess I'm going to be the 3rd worm to die.
Well, sounds like there's been stuff that's been going on with these dragons long before us. Just by saying worm, I'm just assuming. Yeah, it's fair. I don't know what it means. I don't ask me what it means either. I don't know what that means. I'm trying to find answers. I get more questions than I'm qualified to handle. Ori's just gonna kind of like reach up to her shoulder and just kind of scritch Rooibos underneath the chin.
You see his scales kind of like move a little bit, kind of shake back into his skin. I'll say that for the sake of time, nightfall hits and most of you guys reunite. The atmosphere gets really cold within the ship, and Oria, you definitely feel the entire day as the sun was setting that someone's always watching you. Very eerily feeling. As was for you, it's getting cold. It's just getting dumb cold.
Oh, it's a little chilly in here. Ori's also kind of keeping an eye on Rooibos and seeing if he's also picking up like on like the
Rooibos
atmosphere
is not really bothered by it, but you see that he's getting increasingly tired as the sun goes down. Ariell is still not with you, nor Orcdeath, but Laz and Rognarv reappear.
Ooh, that's some areas.
When you guys come in to the ship and the moon sets, you see almost like a small dim fog starting to like approach around the ship, and you hear a 3-step and as you guys are like on the upper deck outside, you hear as the door opens, and you see a completely fogged white 400-pound turtle. What the fuck are you doing on my ship?
Motherfucker, what?
And that is where we're going to end today's
Of
game.
course it is.
Oh my god.
So
Because
good.
this is what you would have wanted. Son of a bitch!
So good.
Son of a bitch! Because this is what you would have wanted.
So, with that extra
it's
little
like-
bit of
It's
game,
like the Monday game. It's like, wow.
thank you
We're not
guys so
collaborating
much
at
for
all.
watching this. Please support our friends at Talon Claw. We also, the Alisher comic. Check out Humblewood, which is an amazing avian, beautiful forest crittered 5e like campaign setting. We also do have merch. Yeah, but as always, this video will be edited, put on YouTube the Thursday before the Friday, so you guys, if there's anything you missed, you guys can watch it. It'll be on Spotify as well, as I never mentioned that we do put our stuff on Spotify. If that's something that's more convenient for you guys to watch, please do so. But yeah, all right, thank you so much.
You said watch.
Watch with the ears.
Watch with the ears, guys. Watch with those earballs.
Speaking of watching,
What?
y'all should be watching our stream tomorrow night, where
You should.
Glenn and I are doing demi-plates and doodles as we sit on draw file and draw stuff.
Because those probably will never see YouTube. So the only way to watch them, if you're watching this in the future, is to go back to our Twitch and watch them before the 60 days are up and they're lost forever. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching our escapades. As Wes has said, there is more question than answers as he keeps digging and digging into the mysteries of what is this? Who is this? Where does this come from?
What is this?
What's these? I just need a meme of just this is what these. Alright guys, thank you so much. Love you all. Adios.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.